We're back, and the gang's all here. Sphinx City is a modern and magical metropolis where the BBG is capitalism. Greedy CEOs, corrupt officials, and evil corporations beware because our heroes are on the case. The dwarven chef fighter who married into the mob, Belkor the Butcher Ironbelly, played by Dale Daniels Jr. The goblin monk artificer with a robotic dog that turns into a rocket-powered skateboard, Jasta Fixadet, played by Taylor Hellstrom. The Goliath sorcerer, former assassin and father that's been called out of retirement, John the Painter Smith, played by Daniel Hargrove. The kobold college dropout, alchemist, and street seller of pharmaceuticals, Tint, the TNT, played by Molly Adeza. And the dungeon master is none other than Justin Galliani. The 1% may have money, resources, and influence, but they're about to get 99% of their asses kicked. So get the f*** on the subway and let's get started, baby. Hey, gang, and welcome back to another episode of Sphinx City, Season 2. Actually, this is our first episode. Thanks so much for joining us. My name is Justin. I'm going to be your dungeon master for this series. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm joined with a cast of incredible characters who is ready to play in this modern and magical metropolis. And it's going to go great, and it's going to be so much fun. Let's kick things off alphabetically, and then after that, let's freaking popcorn it, as Daniel suggested. So I think D-A-N-D-A-L. Dale, you're kicking us off, buddy.
I'm Dale. I go by Death Breath. I play Belkor Ironbelly, who is a chef in Osatura, where is famous for, get this, meatloaf. Best damn meatloaf in the entire city.
Hell yeah.
I'm also part of the Silver Scales.
Very true. If you're just catching us now, go back and watch Season 1 because this is Season 2. So naturally, there will be spoilers ahead.
Confused.
Dale, who should go next?
Go Daniel.
Oh, why thank you, Dale. Hi, everyone. I'm Daniel. It's good to see you all at Daniel the DM across all corners of the internet. And also, you can find me playing in other games, like in Forgotten Adventures, Fears and Fortunes. There we go. Whole lot of F's in that sentence, but we made it through. Super excited to be here with all of you and to be on the premiere episode as a new cast member, as a part of Season 2 of Sphinx City. I could not be more excited. Today, I will be playing John Smith, the owner of an ice cream shop. That's all you need to know. But with that being said, I'm going to popcorn this off to the other new cast member of the season, Molly. How you doing?
Good. I'm so excited to be here. Finally, my pestering of Justin to let me on has paid off, and here I am. You can find me across all social media platforms at Molly Adeza. You can also check out my website, mollyadeza.com. Check out my fantasy novel, The Revenant's Bargain. And today I'll be playing Tint, TNT, a little kobold artificer who's a college dropout, underground cures and potion maker, and newest recruit of the Silver Scales. I'm very excited. And last but not least, Taylor.
Hi, I'm Taylor. We tried not to do alphabetical, and we still wound up alphabetical. I just wanted to point that out.
Yes.
All a part of the plan.
Yep. So, I am the other half of the So You Want to Be a DM podcast with Justin. We're all over all the social media stuff, Instagram, TikTok. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Twitch, you name it, we got it. Check out the link in the description. And I'll be playing Jaster. I am a goblin, monk, and artificer. I got killed last season, so I am honor bound to Mullen, the greatest skateboarder alive. So as a result, I have a little rocket skateboard that is also my steel defender, and yeah, I do all the I'm I get into all the locks and do the goblin things.
Incredible. There truly is so much to catch up on between
Mhm.
season 1 and season 2 because last we left off, Sphinx City is a magical and technological modern metropolis. It is a busy, busy city full of, goodness gracious, probably a million plus people. It is pretty much the size of Manhattan, some would say. It is equally as likely to see somebody using a cell phone as it is to see somebody using spells, to see somebody walking down the street with a great sword strapped to their back as it is to see somebody hovering on a hoverboard, whether it has wheels or not. Because that was the thing in season 1. In season 1, we met 3 individuals who were joined together by a mysterious and unknown international organization called KnowOne, spelled with a K. And there was this point man for KnowOne named, goodness gracious, what is his name? Ghost. And Ghost met with our 3 heroes, enlisted them into KnowOne's services, and set them on the path of helping Sphinx City rid themselves of these capitalistic, money-hungry, power-seeking villains. Now, what that looked like was really interesting because in addition to Belkor and Jaster, we also had a private eye, somebody who used to be a police officer, but as soon as they started investigating corruption inside of their own department, they were fired. And so Yulin J. Barry set out to seek for justice in a different way as a private investigator, joining the ranks of Jaster and Belkor within KnowOne. And along the way, not only solving a bunch of interesting crimes, getting closer and closer to finding out who killed his parents, he finds love. He finds love in the name of Jax, a fluffy leopard tabaxi, who is also the secretary of the police department and the stepson of the chief of police, Samuel Snaggletooth. And Yuland and Jax found a kinship. They found a romance. Hands gently caressing across a beautiful candlelit table as they reach for the breadsticks at the Olive Yard. It was a beautiful moment. And if you're asking, well, shoot, where's Yulin now? He and Jax are on a romantic, expenses paid vacation off in some tropical island, and they're doing their own thing. Maybe they'll come back. Who knows? But our story is here, still in Sphinx City. 6 months has gone by between the end of season 1 and what is now the beginning of season 2. All you really need to know, again, spoilers ahead, go back and seriously watch the first season. I can't stress enough how many spoilers there are. What happened was there was a bunch of people missing around the city. 12 individuals have gone missing, no dead bodies or anything, just random abductions. But we noticed as KnowOne got onto the case, Belkor, Jaster, and Yuland, they discovered that all of the disappearances seemed to be sort of triangulated around the Midling Park Zoo. Upon further investigation, they discovered that beneath the zoo was a secret laboratory headed by Dr. Monty Monotream, a platypus man wearing a mint-colored 3-piece suit with a bowler's hat. And they thwarted his plans, saved all of the people, and released some of the information that would start the process of curing those individuals because, I forgot to mention, they were being turned into zoo animals. Skate past that. Then they discover that there are 3 crooked cops, specifically detectives. There was Washington, Adams, and Jefferson. They took them down. 2 of them, Washington was killed, but Adams and Jefferson were actually put on ice with the help of Ghost, their contact with KnowOne. And so those 2 are still like chilling wherever they may be. That leads them to go start investigating the Romance Realtors, 3 individuals who co-founded a realtor group that is supposed to bring the idea of home is where the heart is and fall in love with your next purchase and that kind of ideology. But actually what they were doing was gentrifying neighborhoods, hiking up prices, kicking out locals, and destroying the infrastructure of what makes Sphinx City great. And so we tracked them down beneath Sphinx City in a small little civilization underneath the streets called Sewer City, where an entire town exists called Sewer City, populated with crocodile folk. And these crocodile folk are quite advanced. Yes, they may live in shacks and the hygiene's not fantastic, but their currency is top of the line. It is a cryptocurrency, referred to as shitcoin. And so our heroes invested a little bit into the shitcoin, did some exploring there, and eventually took out the romance realtors. This led them further down the pipeline, meeting all different kinds of characters along the way, until eventually realizing that some of the masterminds behind this plan included David Thistletrick, a gnomish inventor and CEO of Excelsior. Because what was happening behind the scenes is that Excelsior was trying to create a partnership with a sporting organization so that they could film the big game that was going to be taking place. And during the halftime show, you would only be able to watch if you had Excelsior Prime. And then Romance Realtors was setting things up so that every new apartment has Excelsior Prime included for 1 year. So all these people would be watching, and they found a way to cast spells through the TV. So they could polymorph everybody in the entire city into lizard folk, specifically crocodile folk, thus raising the price of shitcoin astronomically through the roof. Or at least that's the plan that everyone caught on. Maybe there was ulterior motives there, because as some of the players have pointed out, it wasn't the greatest plan. But maybe there was other things going on. Who knows? All of that is to say, we eventually caught David Thistletrick, destroyed him, stopped that plan from happening. 6 months have gone by since then. We're not out of the dark yet. We still have some issues going on. Sphinx City is by no means perfect, and it never has been. But it's our home, and we want to protect it, protect our loved ones, our friends and family, and we want it to be a place that we can be proud of. And for that to happen, more work needs to be done. And who better to do this work than our heroes? Can I have each of you just roll a d20 for me? Just flat.
12.
A 1. Incredible.
What a start.
What a start to the season. I love it. I love this game.
Lucky number 13.
13. I love that. What did Tint and Belkor?
12.
I guess 16.
12 and 16. Okay. Incredible. Before we go to our heroes, we actually go somewhere else first. We find ourselves inside of a beautiful, almost a palace-like structure. Just incredible marble flooring, deep, rich red carpeting. There are statuesque artwork adorning the walls and incredible paintings. And we see two individuals. The camera kind of like focuses on their feet and kind of like moves up as they're moving away from camera. And on one side to the left, we see a woman who the top half is business. There is a blazer with a sharp blouse. And she has like black hair, sort of a bob, like straight line across bangs, bob haircut right above the shoulders, very well put together. And her lower half is a massive snake body. And she kind of slithers her way next to her companion here. The companion is a literal giant. Luckily, this palatial studio, this place that we find ourselves, the ceilings are no issue for this figure, as we see somebody who is like 16 feet tall, stomping just by the very weight of their being, not necessarily intending to be intimidating, walking through, wearing kind of simple clothing, probably like black sneakers, maybe a jumpsuit, like a button up or a zip up jumpsuit kind of thing, very mobster kind of feeling, a thin chain. The jacket is like open enough to where you see like this blazing, almost like fire, chest hair beaming out of the skin is almost a grayish charcoal kind of color, and you can see that there are like some scars on his face, and in the scars it almost looks like magma is like running, like you can see the fire underneath this figure's skin as their eyes glow a yellowish white. Bald head, big bushy beard, just an imposing figure. And the two of them continue to walk forward until eventually they see an individual, human man, or looks human, older, probably like in his late 40s, early 50s, just judging by appearance. Has like salt and pepper kind of hair, beautifully coiffed and gelled, is wearing an absolutely audacious and ostentatious sort of suit. Brilliant, like pocket square. It's one of those suits that you would probably see on like a show like The Bachelor, where it's just so tight and like it's like straight up, the pants are like floods, where they're trying to do that no sock look, but they just don't understand that you don't need like to show the whole calf, and yet it's so much calf is showing. This is a really specific take for me on suits, but like beautiful loafers with like those little tassels on them and stuff like that. We see this individual, thin mustache with a little goatee, incredibly well manicured, wearing like several rings and like a gigantic Rolex style watch, as we see Zusk Bergos talking to two of his important underlings. And Zusk says to the woman who, and now I'm going to throw a huge role-playing curveball to Molly and Daniel, our two newest guests on the show and cast members. So Molly, you're going to be playing Laura Ka in this quick scene. Laura Ka is the head of PR for AstraZeneca Inc., a evil pharmaceutical company, who was involved in season 1, but never was able to be finalized in terms of thwarting them or putting a stop to them or anything. And Daniel, you're going to be playing Dominic Infuego, the leader of the Grey Gardeners, a rival gang to that of the Silver Scales, and another part of the network of villainy that happens here. And also, by the way, a fire giant. And so Zusk turns to you, Laura. Listen, so remember, when they get here, we're going to need to make sure that everything's ready and prepared so that we can juice them up right when they get here, okay?
We've gone over this multiple times. I do understand, darling.
All right, I just want to make sure because, you know, we've had some snafus the past couple of months. We've had this
I assure you, none of those
spy
snafus
organization
have been on our ends.
No, of course not. Of course not. You've done
And
incredible
to
work.
insinuate.
Well, I always like to just keep my ducks in a row and make sure everything's going according to plan. It sounds like it is, though.
I assure you, it is.
Okay. Incredible. Now, Dominic. So, you have the list of ingredients that we need for our backup plan, right?
Boss, we got everything you need right here. Everything's all set up for you.
Perfect. Now, remember, they're almost like orchids, right? In how temperamental they are. I don't have to tell you. I know you, classic. I know that you know plant life. You know horticulture and stuff like that. So
You know me. I am one with nature.
I knew I could trust you. Well, I think we have a lot of work to do. We have some contingency plans to put in place because remember...
Tulips. They're like my favorite of them. I love tulips.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well...
You know it would go
Thanks.
really nice with that suit you got there.
What?
A blue tulip.
What? A tulip? Yeah, I thought you were going to say that.
Or
Okay.
a blue thistle. Yeah.
A blue
He's
thistle.
not wrong.
I wore one on my wedding day. Yeah.
Sure, you look dashing.
Be that
Yeah,
as that
did.
may.
It didn't last for very long, but yeah.
Be that... Enough!
Okay.
We have work to do. There
Darling, I
are
really must ask you to
hooligans
calm
out there.
down a bit.
I
This
have
does
put
not
in
look good for your
too
image.
much time and too much blood, sweat, and tears into this plan to get this fucking tulip talk sidetracking us. We have work to do. If we want to do this, listen, this isn't even about me, okay? If the guy upstairs gets upset, we're all fucked. All right? Okay. Now go out there, do your jobs. Let me know if anything comes up.
Yes, of course.
All right.
All right, no more tulip talk. I understand.
We can talk tulips later.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
And with that, Dominic and Fuego and Laura Ka head out as they continue talking about tulips, and Zusk Bergos rubs his temples, trying to woo-saw himself back into a calm state. And the camera quickly whisks away from there as we sort of smash cut over to the basement of somebody's bedroom, or rather, the basement is the bedroom of one of our individuals. Molly, can you describe what your character looks like for all of us, what they're wearing, what they're doing, and what their room looks like in this moment?
Okay, so I'm going to start with the room. So in this moment, the TV or whatever kind of screen they play video games on here is showing the loading page for Fortnite, except for it's spelled with a K. And huddled around, ready to game, talking shit, is 4 kobolds and a human. And unfortunately, the 4 kobolds look very excited. The human does look a bit drained, a bit tired. But then it comes up in small detail, very subtly at first, as these 3 kobolds, who obviously don't live here, kind of try and hint at getting one of them to talk about why he dropped out of college. And Tint, this little gangly kobold, who's definitely wearing a shirt that has holes around the collar, sweatpants that mom has patched up the knees and the seams a couple too many times. He really should just get a new pair at this point. Probably doesn't smell super great. This is a teenage boy's room. You don't know when those sheets have been changed last. Tint spends a lot of time in here. And he's also wearing these artificer goggles on his head. And his reputation at school a little bit was if anyone ever mentioned him, they'd be like, which kobold is that? And be like, oh, the one that uses the artificer goggles in chemistry 101 class as regular goggles. And everyone's like, oh, him. But as the 3 other kobolds start pressing him more about why he dropped out of college, Tint goes very solemn. He's kind of a silvery purple kobold. He goes very solemn. He says, you want to know where it all went wrong? I'll tell you. I would have been top of our class, valedictorian, inducted into all of the alchemy honor societies. I would have graduated summa cum laude. I was being headhunted, did you know, by all the pharmaceutical companies for internships this summer. Yes, in the fall semester, I was already. They recognized my brilliance.
Weren't you a freshman?
Yeah.
One of the kobolds asks, interrupting.
Yes.
You're a freshman, and they were headhunting you?
Yes.
Okay. All right. No, continue.
Thank you. Please save questions for the end.
Okay.
And he kind of turns and looks out into, like, I'm assuming this is like a half basement, so there's like the little windows. And he just looks into one as if like it's going to be the cutscene where like the light grows bright and we move on to a new scene. Says, where it all went wrong was when my best friend Jeb was kidnapped. And Jeb is the human sitting right next to him. That was, I mean, those few days when I missed him terribly. But then he was found, and we thought that everything would be okay. And it should have been, but then the cure didn't work. And insurance wouldn't pay for another dose. And to top it all off, our group project got a C. And I knew then and there that higher education was not for me, that they couldn't recognize my brilliance. And I knew that I was destined for something greater. So in those days, after I resigned, after I left the school, I wandered the streets, avoiding the places that Jeb and I had some of our best memories, like the library, where I did the majority of our group project and he complained, or the game shop, where I was first told that he had been kidnapped, and on the street walking home when I then realized that he had our group project when he was kidnapped, and if I didn't get it back, we were going to fail. But I avoid all of those memories. And I started to think, working through my depressive episode, this haze of despair that I had fallen into, that my brilliance was meant for more, and I could possibly create a cure to get Jeb back. Okay, Jeb's like right there.
Jeb's like, the whole time, Jeb's like looking at the other kobolds, and it's just every once in a while going, I mean, it was a C+. First of all, we got a C+. I don't know where the C came from. Technically, it was a C+, and I did some of the work. I did
Put your
some
name
of
on the
work.
top. You put your name on it. You hit save.
Who came up with the title?
The title was
But that
Final
isn't
Version.
important.
The date. You didn't even want to put the date on the top.
Well, it depends on when they read it. The date changes. Every day it changes.
You see where it all went wrong.
One of the kobolds is like, oh my, I didn't realize it could be this bad. You poor soul.
But it got better. There's light at the end of the tunnel. You see, I thought with my brilliance, right, I could change Jeb's life and others too. So I started working on a cure. And though I haven't cracked it just yet, I learned that I could make other pharmaceuticals, other potions and cures that are too expensive for others in our neighborhood to afford. But that's when evildoers saw my potential and wanted to put me in the ground. And that's when the Great Gardeners came after me. And I survived, just barely. And then I was recruited to another. I can't say who because it's top secret.
That's crazy. So you who are the Great Gardeners? Are they just gardeners that?
No, they're this gang that, preys on innocence and those who have been oppressed, and they're doing it all for money.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
I mean, like,
so they wanted you because you make drugs now? Sorry, I zoned out.
y-
You make drugs?
Well, I guess they also make drugs.
My
and
cousin's
I was,
birthday party's coming up. What?
Your cousin's birthday? Does he need what? Like a pain reliever, insulin?
Those kind of. Oh, never mind. Never mind.
I mean, I bet I could. I work for some pretty top secret organizations. I bet I could get you some. What do you want?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe just some. Looks around as if somebody's gonna. He like looks at the stairs that lead up to the door that would go to the rest of your house where your mom is upstairs, and goes, I don't know, maybe some CBD.
I'll talk to my guy. I got a guy.
Oh, all right.
I got a guy.
Sick. They all start kind of elbowing each other, like excited. They're like, all right, well, should we get into another round?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Mom's making meatball bites if anyone wants any. Or she said she would.
Yes.
Perfect.
I love meatball bites.
Me too.
Jeb is looking there like, oh, meatball bites again? No, that's fine. That's fine.
Jeb,
I shouldn't complain.
I invite you into my home.
I'm just happy.
I work on a cure to save you. And this is the thing.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. That's on me. I'm sorry. And
okay.
Thank you for everything you do.
Mm-hmm.
But it is like the third time I've heard this story, like today. Like, you keep retelling this whole story. I don't even get to tell any parts of it. I was the one who was kidnapped. I got turned into a goat, I think. It's part of the petting zoo part of the zoo, which is the least good part of the zoo. Just
I think I
farm
accidentally might have like scratched you behind the ear, like when I went through the zoo. Sorry
It's
about
all
that.
a blur. I got so many scritchies. It's all a blur.
Wait, were you one of those
Anyway.
like fainting goats? Did you get scared a lot?
I don't think that I was a fainting goat. One of the kobolds immediately cuts that sentence off by going, you see Jeb just go, and just faint. Oh, he was a fainting goat. Wow.
Zach, I told you to stop doing that. It's rude.
Sorry. One person's rude is another person's improper humor, I guess. No, never mind. Forget I said that, actually. That sounds problematic. Never mind.
Yeah, didn't you take ethics class with me? Like ethics
Yeah,
101?
I missed the day. I missed that day that we were going over comedians punching down. So I kind of lost it on that one.
You know, honestly, I didn't attend any classes because I really didn't think that alchemists needed an ethics code. I have been proven wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
Meatball bites?
Oh, yes, please get the meatball bites. Just at that
Like,
moment, the door opens up and you hear your mom from upstairs go, "Honey, the meatball bites are ready."
Honey, Mom! Like runs up the stairs. It's the meatball bites.
Incredible. And you and your friends begin another round of Fortnite with K. And about 5 or 10 minutes into this next round of Fortnite, do you think that Tint has like the equivalent of like a burner cell? Like one for business and his personal cell? Or do you think
he's got two
Tint
phones?
He has two phones?
Tint is the poster child of like, if anything was slightly cool in like mainstream, he's doing it. He's trying to be cool. So he's like, I have two phones.
Amazing. Your secondary phone, the one that you use for business and for connections with the silver scales and all that kind of stuff, you get a phone call, but it's from a number you don't recognize.
Is there an like attached bathroom to my room?
If you want there to be an attached bathroom.
Yeah, Tint like drops the controller and he's like, I have to shit, and he runs into the bathroom. Hits the answer.
Geez.
He's like, Secret Agent Tint here.
You hear a voice that you haven't heard before speaking to you, and I probably should have practiced this very specific accent before this moment, but here we go. This voice says, "Well, hello there. You said it's this Tint that I'm speaking to."
Secret Agent Tint.
Perfect. That's exactly the person I mean to speak to. My name is Ghost. I'm a part of a secret organization.
I'm a secret agent. So
All
this
the
works
better.
out.
Exactly. We can jump right to recruitment. Tint, we need your help. I'm down an agent, and I need a couple new recruits to join our forces to stop the evil that is plaguing Sphinx City. And if things work out, sky's the limit.
He like covers the receiver and like he thinks I'm an agent. Yes, of course. Where
All right.
should I meet you?
Don't worry, I'll meet you. And with that, he hangs up on the phone. Your toilet in the bathroom flushes, and crawling out of the water tank, pushing the porcelain lid aside, and it almost like slams on the ground. You see crawling out of it is this he has, just for like stereotypical visual purposes, he kind of looks like a vampire. Like he has very pale, sunken cheeks, pale skin, has like that Mr. Fantastic black hair with white on the sides, pointed ears, like kind of a little bit sharpened teeth, like very hollow looking eyes. I mean, he has eyes, but they just look the kind of eyes where it almost looks like he's looking through you, like a doll's eyes, kind of. It's a Jaws reference, real quick. And he crawls himself out. He's wearing a full trench coat, which is now drenched. He has on like a trilby hat, and he crawls out and goes, "All right, Tint, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Ghost." And he holds a hand out.
I don't regularly flush that toilet.
I could tell. It's quite disgusting. I would get your mother down here if you're not going to do it yourself. Because, honestly, you're going to back things up pretty soon.
Yeah, I guess that's a good
It's
point.
really a hygiene thing. But that's not the point. The point is this. We need you. We need your skills. I understand that you've recently begun working for the Silver Scales. That's good. We already have a man in their operation as well. The Silver Scales are good people.
Another
who don't work.
secret agent?
That's right. You may have met him before. He's a chef. Does that ring any bells? It would be crazy for me to just give you his name because that sort of goes against our entire code of being secret.
Does he make meatballs?
He makes meatloaf.
Meatloaf bites?
I don't know if he's explored the size proportion.
Yes.
We'll have to see. I don't know. When we do his intro, we'll find out, I'm sure. As he breaks the fourth wall in that moment.
Me and my family really like Italian food. So yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
Yes, Little Feywild has all of the greatest Fey/Italian food.
Like meatloafs.
Like meatloaf. Now, Tint.
Yes.
The things you're going to be going up against are dangerous.
I can handle it.
Okay. Well, be on the lookout. I'll send you a message of when to meet with the other secret agents. Okay. Don't tell anyone.
Okay. Well, and I'll clean my toilet just in case you want to visit again.
All right. That's probably a good idea. But for now, I leave you in peace. And he lifts the toilet seats, puts both feet into the actual toilet bowl, and flushes the toilet, and gets flushed down the toilet. And with that, we leave that scene. What an intro, gang. And we head over to our other new cast member. So, Daniel, where do we find John Smith in this moment? It doesn't need to be the exact, like, simultaneous time period of Tint's intro, but, like, what does he look like? What is he up to?
Yeah, so John Smith is a Goliath. And he has this bluish kind of gray skin. He has white hair and a thick old white mustache to go along with it. I mean, he's just wearing a t-shirt, some khakis, some a fantasy sketcher New Balances, just in full dad mode. He's got a Fitbit and he's just walking down the street. He's got a little satchel that's just got a little paperwork for heading into the ice cream shop that he owns, and he's just walking down Minotaur West, just enjoying the streets and the people passing by him.
John, you're seeing it's a beautiful day. It's starting to get cold, sort of that time of year, but for the most part, it's a beautiful, brisk day. The sun is out. You see other people walking on the street. You're having like one of those almost like a music video moment where just like everyone is saying hello to you and you're saying hello back and there's waving. And you're getting closer and closer to your ice cream shop, your new baby in a way, or relatively new at least by the time that this is happening. And it's around this time, you know that there is one of your employees is currently opening up, right? They're like running the register and kind of getting some things in motion before you're set to arrive. I know you told me their name.
That'd be Sally.
Sally. Yes. Sally the Goblin is currently inside. Teenager. This is like her first job, probably. And you're getting closer and closer. Let me have you roll. This is going to be the first roll of the game, other than the flat d20. Go ahead and roll, I guess, either perception or investigation, whatever you're better at.
Perception, I get a +1. Investigation, I get a +1 to both. So either way, it's a 12. We'll say it's
12.
Perception.
Okay. 12 on perception. Okay. As you're pulling up, or like, walking up, your building, the building that your ice cream shop is, the brick and mortar itself, it's probably like on one side connected to other stores just by the very nature of being in a busy city like this. However, on the other side, there's a small alleyway, a way that if you wanted to just go in the back, you could in theory. And as you're kind of walking up to the front door, feel free. It's your character's ice cream shop. Does it have like big glass windows?
Yes. So it's got the big glass window out front, and you can see directly inside of it and see anybody lined up and eating. It has little tables,
and what is it called again?
Tables out front. It's called Frosty Fables.
Amazing. You see like two people wearing workers' jumpsuits, like kind of just those average maintenance worker jumpsuits, that has like, it says like the name Salvatore, like stitched on, sort of a grayish, brownish, nondescript color. They have baseball hats on that there's no logos anywhere of like a business. They're drawn low. Sunglasses, two of them. They have a hand trolley. One of them's holding a clipboard. They everything seems on the up and up. Just a little strange because they're definitely not here for your store. You don't have any deliveries or shipments or anything that you know of. And they're leaving the alleyway, and you see them hop into an unmarked, kind of just a regular Sprinter van and drive off. Little odd. And at that moment, your cell phone buzzes. And as you pull it out, you have a text from an unknown number. But I think with John's history, which we'll obviously eventually get into, I think you would even go so far as to almost like recognize this unknown number. You've seen this unknown number before. They've tried to reach out to you in the past and recruit you and all these different things. This number comes through and you get a text message, and it's one word, and it just says danger. What are you doing?
Yeah, so I think immediately first thing I do is I open up my little kind of satchel that I have around me, and I forgot that I need to put on my kind of like this just zip up hoodie that I put on that covers up all my tattoos. One thing I forgot to mention is that from the neck all the way down to the sleeve, covered in tattoos across his body, and so zips up his hoodie real quick, and then as he reaches in also he takes a very sharpened pencil out and kind of hides it inside of his sleeve, and then heads into the front door.
You head inside the front door. You see Sally behind the register, finishing up with. Is the ice cream shop open right now?
Yes, it would be.
Okay. She finishes up with one customer. Gives them a couple of scoops of some fantasy themed ice cream flavor.
Humpty Dumpty marshmallow. There's a Seven Dwarf sorbet. There's so many different. There's the golden brick rocky road. so many different amazing designs.
I love that. And as she's finishing up, that customer leaves. You hear the little ding-a-ling-ling on the door, and Sally sees you, a goblin teenager, probably like 15, 16. She has like a kind of high ponytail, and she sees you and just, oh, hey, boss, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going, Sally? How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing all right, I didn't know we had a delivery.
Did we?
Yeah. Two guys came in. No, but they had paperwork and everything. They brought some boxes in and put them in the back.
Gotcha.
Do you have a copy of that?
No. Do you have a copy of that paperwork with you?
Yeah. Oh gosh, where I put it? Hold on. And she starts frantically looking around to try and find it, and eventually hands you a spreadsheet, like some type of paperwork.
Gotcha.
You take a look at it. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I want to investigate and see if it's fabricated.
For 1,000,000%. Yeah, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
That's a 18.
18? It absolutely is. It's not even done super well. It looks like there's part of it where you can tell that they probably were hoping that it wouldn't find your eyes, which are more discerning than Sally's, obviously. But there's some obvious mistakes here and there in this. It looks like the company is just called Big Milk, which you've never heard of. You think that's fake. That's probably
that's
fake.
all we have for this evening. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah, they're tarnishing the good name of Big Milk, these two knuckleheads.
So
and yeah, it definitely it's like a shipment of cream and eggs and stuff, and you're just like, number one, we like, you as the business owner and somebody who is passionate about this ice cream shop, you know who your dealers are, who your vendors and all that kind of stuff, right? Who you do business with. This isn't them.
Sally, I'm so sorry. It completely slipped my mind. I'm going to be doing a remodel of the store coming up. So listen, I reach into my wallet and grab like $40. I'm like, listen, if you can't get your mom to come pick you up, call her car ride, go grab something to eat across the street. I actually have to close down today. We got to start installing this new equipment right now. So just head over, and I will let you know however long it takes. You're going to get paid as if you worked this whole entire time.
Oh, well, geez, mister, that's so nice of you. Sure, yeah, I guess.
Of course. Listen,
just let me know when
the
work is done. Oh,
go ahead and grab your phone. Grab your phone, all right? And
yes, of course.
We're going to go out the door, go ahead and go out the front door. And
incredible.
I will send you a message about how the remodel is going to go.
Amazing. And they're starting right now?
Right now,
today,
since I'm here, I gotta go start and install this.
Oh, my goodness!
Through the door. So yeah, it's moving parts so fast. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't even know that we were doing this, but okay. Oh, you're pushing me right out. Oh,
yep.
okay.
All right.
And as you're kind of like very
close sign,
gently,
lock the door.
yeah, dad mode. Are you leaving with her?
No, I am I'm gonna lock the door behind me, and then pull the pencil out that I had and kind of wield it like a dagger as I go to the back office.
Amazing. You head towards the back office. Sally is going on her way with $40 in her pocket, and you go through the front area, making your way to the back to where like the kitchen work area is, where you experiment for new flavors and put together huge batches of ice cream and test out new ingredients and stuff. And sure enough, you see a pretty sizable package. It's on like a pallet of wood. It's just one large, what looks to be like a cardboard box, taped up, and Big Milk written right on the side. What are you doing?
I'm going to. Are there any sounds or smells coming from the package? I want to try to make a perception check.
I'm going to say no roll required because you've removed all other noise creating things, aka Sally. It's pretty silent in here. As you get closer to the box, you hear beeping. Beep.
I immediately start to sprint, jump over the counter, shoot a firebolt at the glass, and then jump through the front window.
The second you burst through, the camera whips around to see you jumping almost towards the camera as we enter into slow motion as a massive explosion fires off. Glass shattering, pieces of ice cream going everywhere. And the last thing the camera catches is like a piece of cardboard that is smoldering around the edges that just says Big Milk, and it just burns into ash. And you collect yourself on the street sidewalk, covered in just natural like scrapes and bruises and stuff like that from breaking through the glass and the explosion launching you a little bit further than you would have naturally jumped yourself. Yeah, what's going through? What's going through John's head at this moment? What are you doing?
Just an uncontrollable sense of rage as I stand up and I'm covered in soot, shards of glass in my skin and in my back, and I just pull out my flip phone and go to the text messages and respond back, "I'm in," and then close the phone and begin to walk away into the alley.
Amazing. Somewhere in the pipes that connect toilets in this city, you see a very wet and cramped vampire-looking man go, "What's that? Oh, very good. He's in." And just beams through pipes and is like bing, 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 bing. And you just hear him going, as he hits the corners and pipes. Amazing. And we leave there. So funny. We leave there and we head over to Little Feywild. We pass by an outdoor bocce court where you see some elderly fae kind of just playing bocce. There's like a fairy and a satyr rolling these wooden balls down a track. We pass by ironically, a different type of ice cream, a gelato shop called Garibaldi's. There's a wine bar called Grapes of Wrath. And eventually we find our way to, on the corner, this beautiful piece of real estate, just like the perfect location for a restaurant. It's a corner spot, lots of visibility, big glass windows where you can see the beautiful dining area inside, Gold's Leaf, signage out front that says Osatura, established something like 1855 or something like that. An old restaurant is the point. And as we head inside, we see that even now, like kind of middle of the day, it's like in between lunch and dinner. It's not as busy as it would be during dinner rush, but it's still like pretty popping in here. There's some people sitting at a bar. The bar is very like fancy, just mahogany wood and all high shelf bottles behind the bartender. But we head past that into the kitchen. Dale, can you describe what we see in the kitchen, who your character is in terms of like what they look like and stuff like that, and what they're doing at this moment?
All right, so just in the kitchen, and you just see one dwarf, one human, just you just hear the sizzle of the pans. It's like, yes, that's how you do, like you just hear Belkor go, yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about, like the nice
like
aroma.
This.
Yes, the aroma.
Okay.
That's what you're looking for. And then you want to add your ground beef, and then like just want to like just kind of like not cook it all the way just yet, but you want to at least get it to the point where it's semi-cooked, at least so that the garlic and the onions and the peppers can just marinate and just season that beef and pork mixture, and then just make it into a loaf. Throw it in the oven. Maybe add a little bit of tomato sauce on the top just to give that nice little acidic kind of taste. Just throw it in the oven for like a good 30 minutes, and that
30 minutes
is my recipe for
incredible
meatloaf.
Oh my gosh, chef, this is incredible. I'm gonna do you proud. I'm gonna bring justice to the meatloaf. I'm gonna stick to the recipe. I'm gonna make you proud. Okay?
That's why, Sven, and I do like the whole like shoulder kind of thing. That's why, Sven, I'm making you head chef of Satuna.
Me? You're making me head chef?
Head chef. Now, granted,
I'll
probably come in here a couple times, like just to,
of course,
kind of. I mean, like sometimes my days off might want to go back to cooking a little bit, but
naturally,
yes, of course. But until I do come back for like just to get back to cooking, get back to the roots, you know.
Yeah.
This kitchen, all you see is yours.
He looks out over the kitchen. It glistens and sparkles in different parts. You see it bounces off of his eyes. His eyes are sparkling as he's looking at everything. Oh my God. It's all mine. Well, listen, chef, I'm going to make you proud. Like I said, I'm going to work hard. I'm going to come in early. I'm going to leave late. I'm going to make sure that the mise en place is mise en placing. I'm going to make sure that the juliennes are julienne. I'm going to make sure that everything is...
Sven.
Oh, sorry.
Don't overthink it. That's going to give you terrible meatloaf. You gotta just go with the flow, you know? Just...
Okay. Go with the flow.
Just do what you feel. Just feel the food. Not like touch it. I mean, unless you've got gloves. But like, I mean, like this. Just channel just the inner, like, just the flow.
Just feel it. Okay.
All
right. You got it.
I'll be back in. I'm gonna talk to the guy real quick. I'll be right back though.
You got it, chef. Okay. And he starts going to work, preparing some things for later service. Just preparing. Again, the mise en place, like all the little chopped up ingredients that are in their little containers so that you don't have to do that when it's rush and stuff like that. And you head to the walk-in freezer to a very specific porcelain crate of tomatoes. Now, you might be asking, who puts tomatoes in the freezer? They probably would go into the refrigerator. Well, guess what, gang? These aren't real tomatoes. Again, they're made of porcelain because as Belkor approaches them, fully aware that they are not real tomatoes, there's like a wooden crate. It has like some fake straw coming out of it as there's just full of tomatoes. And as you just lift up this crate of tomatoes, it reveals a staircase that descends further beneath Osatura. Kind of dingy, concrete, very basic in terms of just the hallway itself. Fluorescent lighting eventually leads you one way to a meeting room. It's a little cold down here. There's not a ton of light except for the artificial lighting of the room, as there's like hanging lamps in this meeting room, a long table. You see some familiar faces, people that you've done work with for quite a while in Silver Scales. You see, we're going to, in this moment, name the 2 bodyguards that I've referenced a million times. There are 2 polar bear folk. I refer to them as Ursa folk. They're wearing like dark colored suits with turtlenecks that go up pretty high, just white fur, polar bear, standing on either side of a tiny chair. But these 2 individuals, there's Bosco and Roscoe. And those are the polar bears, and now we know that. And so Bosco and Roscoe see you come into the meeting room. They're both kind of just like standing with their arms folded and look at you and nod and go,
Hey, how's it going? Hey, Belkor, how you doing?
Doing all right. I can never tell you 2 apart. You guys are like twins.
Oh, yeah. We get that all the time. But we're actually boyfriends. Crazy.
Oh, that's so sweet. Oh my
yeah,
god.
it's a whole thing. Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Hey.
What are you gonna do?
As long as y'all are happy. That's all
And
that
we are.
matters.
And they stop looking menacing with their arms folded, and they kind of just reach across and hold each other's hands for a quick second, give a little squeeze before going back to their menacing bodyguard of the Don of a mafia. Go back to their poses. And you see that at the end of this long table, in between Bosco and Roscoe, is a chair, but it's not the chair that's actually at the end of the head of the table. There's a separate chair, a smaller, much smaller chair, maybe a chair for a dollhouse, that is actually placed on top of the table. And sitting on top of that chair is a very tiny little pixie man wearing a fedora and a pinstripe suit, like pixie wings kind of folded, furled behind his back. And he's sitting, his legs are crossed, and he looks up at you and says,
Belkor, my son, how are you doing this evening?
Very fine, Don. Very fine.
Incredible. I trust that you have given Sven the good news that he is to become the head chef.
I have, and I think the kid's gonna do well.
Okay, I'm glad to hear it. That makes me happy. That makes me very happy. Now, Belkor, I trust you know why I've gathered you here today.
Maybe.
it's me not telling Dale why they're meeting.
He says, of course. Well, as you remember, in the past 6 months, there's been a nuisance, a thorn in our side. A rival gang, as it were, who seems to be encroaching on our territory. They call themselves...
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. I appreciate your input, but for now, just listen. They call themselves the Grey Gardeners. We don't know if that name has a deeper meaning, if there's a reason that they chose that particular title for themselves. Maybe they have gray skin. Maybe they are fans of Grey's Anatomy. Perhaps they are gardeners themselves. Who's to say? But we would like it if you would look into this for us. Find out where their headquarters is located. If you can identify any of its members. That way we can take them out.
Alrighty. Any other leads beside? I mean, is this the same gang that you told me about that
Months ago.
Months ago, yes.
Yes, they are encroaching not on our territory in a turf sense, but on our territory in a business sense. You understand?
Gotcha.
They also have decided amongst themselves to sell pharmaceuticals. However, their pharmaceuticals are shoddy. They are not worthwhile. They are not safe. They are addictive, even. And that is why we must kill them.
Right. All right.
Amongst other reasons. But I digress. Belkor, there is one other matter that is pertaining to all of this that is also quite important. As you may or may not have heard, we have taken on a new producer, a new pharmaceutical expert into our ranks. A new member of the Silver Scales. He is young. He is ambitious. He's a little chaotic, I'm going to be honest with you. But he's a good kid. He wants to do the right thing. He wants to make drugs for the people. The people who can't afford them from the insurance companies and such. You know what I mean? He's got a good head on his shoulders. His name is Tint.
Like
it stands for something, I'm sure. No. TNT. Like an explosive.
Huh.
Yeah.
Does the
You'll
name
have to
fit
ask
the
him.
character?
It certainly does.
Okay.
It certainly does. Now, I trust that you will show him the ropes. Teach him what it means. Teach him our ways. What it means to do things illegally, but also in the name of justice.
I will.
Incredible. Well, I trust that you all will be meeting very shortly. So, I'll leave you to do your work.
All right. I've actually got a batch of meatloaf in the oven now, and I mean, what better way to break the ice than some nice fresh meatloaf?
Bellissimo, incredible. I love to hear it. You know, I'm such a big fan of your meatloaf. I'm sure that's how you won Gwen over. That's how you won me over. Your meatloaf, it speaks for itself. What can I say?
Stop. All right.
I refuse to stop. I'll never stop. Can't stop, won't stop.
And with that, you leave the Don in the meeting room and begin to head back up the stairs to the walk-in freezer into the kitchen. And it is around this time that you receive a phone call. It is from a number that you would recognize because you've been a part of KnowOne for long enough to know when Ghost is reaching out to you.
Oh. I know this guy. Or person. I don't know what he is, but he's a friend.
He's a sweetie boy is what he is.
He certainly is. You answer the phone, and he goes, Belkor, is that you?
It is I.
Fantastic. Always like to check. You never know. Somebody could answer somebody else's phone. A truly dastardly act. One I would chop them in the kneecaps for if I found out. Sorry, I got sidetracked for a moment. I was thinking about my old days when I was in the field myself. Anyway, listen, Belkor. As you know, your work is not done. Sphinx City is still not safe. There's evildoers afoot, and we must put a stop to them.
Damn right. Just tell me what I need to do.
Well, first things first. I probably need you to go pick up this kid because I'm pretty sure he can't drive. Maybe he could take the subway, but honestly, he might slip between the cracks. He's a small guy. His name is Tint.
You're shitting me.
I might do business in toilets, but I never shit anyone.
You're not going to
I can assure you
believe
of
the
that.
coincidence.
Oh, you've heard of him?
Oh, not only heard of him, guess who the new member is of the Silver Scale?
Oh, damn,
Unless
crazy.
this is a tint that's spelled T-I-N-T.
No I.
Gotcha.
No I. That would
Okay.
be crazy.
Yeah,
No, I think it
coincidence.
stands for something.
What are the odds?
That's remarkable. Now, you know what? Let's have this next part in person. And he hangs up the phone.
Right.
You look around because you've encountered this once or twice before with Ghost of him like popping out of strange orifices and items and stuff. You're looking around for like where could he possibly come out of, and you see that there is a microwave that just you hear like a ping, and the microwave door just opens, and you see him crawl his way out as he contorts himself and kind of fall. It's a microwave that's a little high up, and he kind of falls out of it onto the ground, like hits his head. He's like, "Oh, damn it! All right, Belkor." Looks over at
that
Sven.
entrance an 8 out of 10.
I've done better. I've done worse. Anyway, it's time to round the crew up again. Things are popping off.
The gang's getting back together?
The gang must get back together. Here's the thing.
Yes!
I don't know how close you are with Euland. Have you spoken to him in a while?
I know that, didn't they go off on a romantic vacation?
A romantic getaway, that is absolutely right. And who was I to stop them? There's many things I will stand in front of. A bullet, a moving train, but not love. Never. Anyway, so they're off gallivanting. Here we are. That's why we've recruited a couple new members. We have Tint. He's a wild man, sort of a wild card. Unpredictable. I'm sure it'll be great. But then, just in case he ends up being an absolute liability, I've lined up one other potential recruit. He's actually an expert in the field. Somebody we've been having our eye on for some time. His work speaks for itself, work you will have never heard of, because that's the nature of his work. Confused? Good, you should be. Anyway, I need to get going. I need to reach out to Jaster and let him know that the gang's getting back together.
Damn right.
All right. Be on the lookout from me. I'll be sending all of you a text in order to start meeting up and to get work underway. Hell yeah. Looks over at Sven. Sven looks at him. Looks at Sven. They look. He's like, he maintains eye contact with Sven the entire time as he slowly crawls back into the microwave. It just gets into the microwave. He has trouble closing the door from the inside. He peeks his head out. Belkor, could you give me a hand here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just
Ready?
set it to 30 seconds.
30 seconds, okay.
All right.
It's one of those like fancy like dial microwaves. Ching.
It starts counting down, and you hear the microwave turn on and everything. Yeah, and you hear him start to go, oh god, oh, harder than I thought it would be. Okay, here we are, and then just in a flash of light, just disappears.
I look at Sven's like, yeah, you'll run into him occasionally. Like, don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, hey. I mean, we work at a restaurant for, the Don, so I've learned not to ask questions, sort of ignore most of the crazy shit that happens here.
Smart chef.
Yeah, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that when you go into the walk-in and you're looking for green onions and you accidentally find an AK-47, you just stop asking questions. You know what I mean? You just stop asking questions. Anyway. And he goes back to the meatloaf. And we move away from there, and we head over to Baldertown. Baldertown is a eclectic, diverse neighborhood full of all different kinds of shops and businesses. We pass by it sells multiple things, but it's kind of like there's fragrances and perfumes and colognes, but there's also essential oils and different tinctures and even like some potions and stuff like that. As we pass by a shop called The Sixth Sense, like sense, like smells, and we pass by a incredible market
like kind of a farmer's market, but also mixed with all different kinds of goods. This is the Goblin Market. Just all different kinds of things being sold here. You can find like really, really expensive things that are probably counterfeit here, but you could also find like some of the freshest food ever at incredible prices. And we also passed by a cigar shop called Fumar del Tigre, which is just the tiger smoke. And eventually, we make our way to a ramen shop where there's a large neon sign that moves slightly. The letters blink and stuff, and like a pair of chopsticks just kind of like scissors around kind of as the neon sign sort of moves a little bit. And the shop is just called Hot Ramen. Basic, straight up, to the point. What do they sell? Hot ramen. And as we go inside, we see this incredible ramen shop. There are small tables, a bunch of people eating different kinds of ramen that have incredible like poached eggs or those like soft boiled eggs on them with different slices of pork or different meat. There's like mushrooms and different things laid on the top. As we kind of move past there, we move into the kitchen where we see a small kind of elderly goblin going to town. He's like on a step stool ladder that's like, even calling it a step stool is actually underselling it. It's like a normal sized ladder because he's just a little goblin guy. And he's like got this spoon that's the size of himself. And he's just like stirring the biggest pot of broth, that kind of style of just like, it's the same broth that they've been cooking for like 100 years and just keep adding more and more stuff to it. And he's just stirring that. He turns to one of the other employees here, kind of elderly woman who is like slicing noodles by hand. And they look at each other and one of them just says,
Hey, where's Jaster? Where's he at? He's supposed to be clocking in pretty soon. He's supposed to help us out today. He knows that we're busy. Oh, come on, man. Come on, Jazz, you know. He's downstairs. He's in the fight ring. He's working on his own stuff. He's got different passions. I know. I just thought maybe he would, well, at least he took on our love of fighting, even if he didn't take on our love of ramen. Anyway,
goes back to stirring, and the camera moves downwards, and we see that it follows down this gigantic ladder that this goblin is standing on, goes through the floors. You see like the layers of subfloor and concrete and everything until eventually it reaches this downstairs arena, this almost Colosseum-like building where there's a massive underground fighting ring. And that is where we find Jaster. Taylor, can you describe what Jaster is looking like and what he is doing in this moment?
Yeah, so Jaster is just a little goblin boy, little goblin guy. Kind of for like a goblin, though, he's like in his mid-20s, 30s-ish age-wise. And he's got a hot ramen tank top on, and then real short Muay Thai shorts. And then he's standing in the ring with another goblin, and he's got the target pads on his hands that he's got a chest guard on, and he's basically working somebody through. He's like, all right, cool, give me the right, left. All right, now kick. All right. When you go to do that jab, step forward a little bit, turn your foot just a little bit. It's going to help get your hips over for that kick so you can really lay into him. So let's do it again. All right, and good. Come on, again. And then just kind of going through different drills with whoever.
Incredible. You guys practice for a little bit, and this goblin that you're training, Michael, at a certain point, he gets tired fast because he's still kind of new to all of this, and you guys are taking a little bit of a water break. He's got his water bottle, and he's like,
wow. Listen, Mr. Jaster, I don't know how you do it. Where'd you learn all this stuff?
A lot of practice. A lot of getting my butt kicked.
Oh, Do I have to get my butt kicked? Is that how I'm gonna learn?
Well, we're gonna try to spare you that, but honestly, it kind of just comes with the territory. You're gonna get your butt kicked.
Oh, okay.
And at that moment, as you say, you're gonna get your butt kicked. You hear a booming voice, kind of a little surprising, kind of comes from the side, and you see that there is a large dragonborn. Looks like green scales, shirtless, is wearing kind of like pretty small compression shorts, and he's got like wraps around his wrists that kind of have the little bit of you know how you can do a wrap where there's like little bit of padding on the knuckles kind of thing. And he just comments as you say that and goes, "Yeah, get used to getting your butt kicked, little goblins. What's up? Name's Ragnar."
Sure. Okay, Ragnar. Well, I bet you this goblin can make you quit in about 30 seconds.
You're on.
All right, here, Michael, take this, and I take the handguards. My hands are wrapped under the targets, and then
Amazing.
I take the chest guard off and go. All right, come on, let's go.
Right now, hold on. Let's get an audience. Let's have some fun
What do you
with
need an
this.
audience for?
Because I want everyone to see
You want
what
everyone to see you
Ragnar's
get your ass
capable
kicked?
of.
You want the whole gym to see? You're probably not gonna be able to show your face after this.
Ragnar has a face that needs to be shown because it's good looking. Now, do you want an audience or not, friend?
I don't give a shit, dude. Let's just go. And I go and I step through the ropes and get into the ring and just kind of start
Incredible. You get into the ring, you're stretching up a little bit. Ragnar is just showboating at this moment, is kind of walking around the ring going, "Everybody, check it out. Ragnar's going head to head against this goblin here. Says he can take me out in 30 seconds. Ragnar says, no way. Come around, place your bets." Everybody in this underground fighting ring knows Jaster enough to where they can't do betting because everyone just is like, "Oh, Jaster's gonna win." And very quickly, the bookie is like, "Hell yeah, betting." And every single person's like 100 on 100 on Jaster. I'll put 50 on Jaster. Not a single person bets on Ragnar, and so immediately the betting is null and void.
right. All right. That's rough.
And so finally Ragnar steps into the ring, pushes the ropes aside. He's kind of bouncing on his feet a little bit, but he's heavy. And you see him go ahead and make a perception check, actually. I'm going to say with advantage because you have fans there. You have an audience. So that'll stand in for a borderline help action.
23.
23. You see him fuck around with his gloves a little bit to the point where you think he might be cheating.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and while he's doing that, I'm gonna power myself up and activate my arms of the astral self, just so I kind of have.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you
what
want,
does this look like?
It kind of just looks almost like just like a he goes up and he does a little flex in front of him, and then he's got two arms above and two arms below, and they all just kind of all flex together. He just kind of does a little stretch, and then and it all comes together, and now he just has Machamp arms too.
Incredible. So now you have, including your real arms, that would be 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. You see Ragnar look a little is a little shocked by this, obviously didn't know who he was dealing with. And you see him kind of looks around at the crowd, realizes it's way too late to back out. And he's instantly fuck, all right. Ragnar doesn't care how many arms you got. Ragnar only cares about how much spirit you fuck. Fight me.
All right.
And he looks over at another like person there, the person you were training, Michael, goes, "Ring the bell, Michael. I overheard your name. I know it's Michael. Ring the fucking bell." Michael rings the bell. You two go into the middle of the ring. Rather than spend a whole time here doing a mini combat, which we know is going to end one way, describe to me, because I'll say this, Ragnar is strong. Like, he is, like, he maybe not he's not at your level, but, like, he is, like, slightly above average. Like, maybe even tougher than you were expecting, because he is just showboating. You just expected him to be, like, all hot air. And it was like, okay, you actually have some skill, but... Describe how Jaster beats the shit out of him in 30 seconds.
So yeah, it's I think Jaster walks in and he just kind of eats the first hit, just like lets the guy Ragnar land a hit on him. He hits it and he's like, oh shit, all right. And then he starts bouncing a little bit, and then the next punch that Ragnar throws, Jaster ducks between his legs and with his two astral arms grabs his ankles, pulls him out from under him, and then does a backflip and then an elbow drop on him.
You do this massive elbow drop. You see like the elbow, we get like a zoom in of the elbow entering into the solar plex as all of the air is released from Ragnar's lungs, and a little bit of acidic spittle comes out because he's a green dragon, or it would be poison technically. I know my dragons. And you have handedly won this fight. The crowd erupts, even though there's not necessarily surprise or shock in their cheers, but nonetheless, they are happy. And Ragnar very slowly returns up to his feet, and he looks at you and goes, "Ragnar was probably wrong about you.
Beginner's class is on Tuesday at 7.
Sick. Do you do like a deal? Do you do some kind of deal if I buy a certain amount? How does that work?"
I mean, yeah, if you buy some gear, we'll give you a month for free.
Sick. I'll buy some gear. My gloves seem to be a little messed up on the count of... Never mind. Perfect. I'll see you there. And he runs away. It is at this moment that you receive a text message. Your phone that's probably not on your very person, but maybe like by your gear or something like that begins to buzz.
Vibrating on a wooden bench.
Very loud. And you go over to it. I said text message. I meant phone call.
Okay.
You get a phone call. And you go over to it. It's a number you recognize. You know that it's Ghost. You answer the call. He says, "Is this Jaster?"
Yes.
"All right. Listen, Jaster, this is Ghost of KnowOne.
Right.
You remember me?
Yeah.
You know who I am? All right, good. Just checking. So listen, the gang's getting back together.
The gang's getting back together?
You're goddamn right.
Yeah.
We have work to do. Now,
all right.
For this next part, I'll probably talk to you in person."
Sure.
Click. Hangs up. You look around. You've also dealt with this bullshit before. You're looking around like, where the hell is he gonna be?
There's lockers on the wall.
You look at all the lockers like that's a safe bet, but instead, a small trash can, like a waste paper basket, he climbs out of.
Wow.
Yeah. My God.
I mean, I know it's not connected to anything. I took the trash out earlier. How?
Can't tell you all my secrets. Sorry, hold on. Let me crack this. Oh, yeah, that's it. There we are. Okay. Listen up. Just as he's about to start, he looks over. Him and Michael make eye contact. He looks at Michael and just goes, "Get away. Go away." Michael's like, oh, sorry. Just kind of goes away. He goes, "All right, listen. So, I'm sure you've heard Euland and his lover Jax are on a beautiful romantic vacation. As such, it's just you and Belkor right now as active agents in Sphinx City. And so, I've made some moves. I've made some adjustments. We've added 2 members.
Sure.
All right? One of them, a loose cannon, who doesn't play by the rules. Doesn't play by any rules. Honestly, he's chaotic as shit. He's probably going to blow some stuff up, hopefully not himself. His name is Tint.
Right.
There's no I in the name. I've already got that question a couple times today. Just TNT.
TNT. Okay.
Yeah. Like that song.
That's a pretty cool name, honestly.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. It makes a ton of sense too, because it's also, believe it or not, it's actually his literal initials. So it's crazy how it all turned out.
Wow. Yeah. What a
It just goes to show,
Yeah.
when you're choosing names for your children, just be really careful because you never know how they'll turn out. But anyway, the other one is truly an expert. This is somebody that you're not going to have to worry about carrying their own. If anything, I would look to them as a bit of a mentor.
Okay.
Somebody who's been in the secretive sort of spy space. I'll leave it at that. Let him tell his own story if he's interested. Name's John. He'll be joining you as well. But we've had our eyes on him for quite some time. One of those figures that were so capable, so gifted at their craft. Kind of could have gone either way. Luckily, seemed to go into the side of good. And recent change of events, he's decided to join our sides. So.
All right. Well, I mean, where are we meeting up?
Well, that's just it. We're going to meet up right after this break.
Bam.
We're going to take a 5-minute break right now. Come back after this break. You'll see. Let me think about how this is going to work, actually. There's probably going to be a really quick ad, so probably like a 1.5-minute, 2-minute break, and then we'll get right back into it. I have DM dysfunction. I have DM dysfunction. I have DM dysfunction.
A recent study published by the Bardic College of Lore claims that 69% of dungeon masters suffer from DM dysfunction, or DMD. This condition has more facets than your favorite polyhedral. Some have reported burnout, writer's block, issues with balance, or inner party problems. At So You Want to Be a DM, it's our mission to not only fight the monster-like symptoms of DM dysfunction, but to treat the very cause of it. To do this, we implement auditory technology in the form of the podcast So You Want to Be a Dungeon Master. By listening to the tips and tricks provided by Justin and Taylor, DM dysfunction can become a thing of the past.
I've been a listener of the podcast for over 4 months now, and I don't have to worry about DM dysfunction anymore. And I just DM'd my first homebrew world, and I didn't have to worry about DM dysfunction. With all the So You Want to Be a Dungeon Master content that I consume, I'll never have to worry about DM dysfunction ever again.
And neither will you. Check out So You Want to Be a Dungeon Master.
You can talk to your doctor today, or you can find So You Want to Be a Dungeon Master anywhere you find podcasts. Listening to too many episodes in a row can cause excessive imagination, lucid dreaming, lactose intolerance, and character death. Sorry, not death. Character depth.
And remember, you don't want DMD, you want D&D.
And we're back. And the gang's all here. Last we left off, our heroes were all introduced. We have Belkor Ironbelly, head chef, or no longer head chef, maybe executive chef or owner, co-owner of Osatura, has handed it over to Sven, who's now head chef. Heard about an interesting other gang called Grey Gardeners, and a rival gang who seems to be stepping on the toes of the Silver Scales, according to the Don. We also met Tint, a enthusiastic, newly appointed secret agent who is here to help Silver Scales with the production of pharmaceuticals for sale and stuff like that, and also is going to be joining the ranks of KnowOne. Then we come over to an incredible ice cream shop owned by a mysterious John Smith, who unfortunately has that hobby, that dream, that retirement plan snuffed out as two strange individuals seem to have planted a bomb inside of the location. And just in the nick of time, John manages to escape as it explodes in a fiery heap. And John's first response, other than rage, is to text back Ghost and say, I'm in. Finally, we meet up with Jaster again in the underground fighting ring, this Coliseum, and as well as it serves as a gym for individuals who want to practice their martial arts. And Jaster bests a bully named Ragnar. And that's kind of where we pick up as Jaster is speaking to Ghost. And Ghost says, so, I believe it's time for everyone to get together. We have some work to do, and I need to share some information. So, give me one moment. And he pulls out a very old school looking phone, flip phone, very basic looking, gives all the vibes of a burner cell. And he starts sending out some texts furiously, using his thumbs so fast. And at that moment, Belkor, Tint, and John, all of you receive texts from this same unknown number, which you now know. Belkor, you obviously would already know this, but for Tint and John, you guys now know that this belongs to Ghost, your sort of connection, your middleman, if you will, to the KnowOne organization. Before he finishes sending it out, he looks at you, Jaster, and says, where should I have us all meet? Should we meet upstairs in the ramen shop?
I'd go for a bite.
I could eat. All right. Perfect. Meet at Hot Ramen in Boulder Town. 10 minutes. Be there. And you all receive that text, with the exception of Jaster.
I'm just imagining an OG Moto Razor with T9. So just...
He's hitting it fast. He's hitting the T9 really, really quickly. So you all receive that text, Belkor, Tint, and John. I imagine, I don't want to speak for your characters, but I imagine you guys head that way.
Yeah.
Get my mom to drop me off.
I think before that, John would have to head home to grab a change of clothes.
Absolutely.
So I think you'd head there and then would go into his panic room. And there would be a secret panel that you couldn't even see until you put a fingerprint on there. And then a floorboard would open up. And there's just a black box. And I open up the black box and I grab the weapon that's inside and stuff it behind my back.
Amazing. Just as this secret compartment is closing and you are securing your weapon behind your back in your waistband, sort of, your child surprises you for a moment. You're so focused back into this old school mode that you haven't been in a little bit that you almost get caught up in the moment as your it's your son, right?
Yeah, so it's my stepchild. Yeah. They are a changeling named Ray.
Oh, right. Ray sort of sneaks up behind you a little bit and just says, hey, Dad, what are you doing?
Hey, kiddo. So I gotta go out.
You going to the ice cream shop?
About that,
I thought you were still going to be there.
I've got some pretty bad news about the ice cream shop. It exploded.
No. What?
How do I put this?
What do you mean? Wait, what?
It's like rip off the Band-Aid.
Okay. It looks like there's some foul play, and I'm trying to get to the bottom of it.
Somebody blew up the ice cream shop? Why would they do that? They hate ice cream? Who are these people?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. So,
Heck 'em.
Yeah. So, listen. Do you need money to order pizza?
No, I could put something together.
Oh yeah, just log in to my login log in and order some pizza for tonight. I'm gonna go out late and
Okay.
probably have to talk to some people about this and make calls.
Yeah, I imagine. I guess so. Yeah. Gosh. Well, I'm so sorry that happened. I know that you love that place.
Yeah, it's I made it for your mom. So, anywho, I'm gonna get going. If you need me,
They don't even let you finish, and they just come in for a big hug.
I love you, Dad.
I love you too, kiddo. But you let me know.
Can I get cheesy bread too?
Yes, you can get cheesy bread and soda. Yeah. If anybody comes up on the cameras or anything like that, and you see there's like just a massive surveillance system outside the house, and like there's a corner, like there's like a little gaming section, but then right next to it is just security cameras galore that go all the way like across the street. If you see something, say something, let me know, and I'll be right home. Okay?
All right, I will. I'll let you know. Okay.
Good night, kiddo.
All right.
And you get your changed and everything like that, and you begin to head off. Tint, you get a ride from your mom
So
along
Tint sends back. When he gets the text, he already has Ghost saved in his phone to secret organization contact.
Of course.
And he sends back without any spaces, just SATNTONW or OTW.
Wait,
The way.
I tried to spell that in my head and totally lost it. What are you spelling?
Exactly. Ghost wouldn't know either. Special Agent Tint on the way.
Amazing.
TNT.
Amazing. He texts back, a cipher. Well done. And that's it. And you
then he
get a ride
runs up-
from your mom.
Yeah.
On the drive there, your mom in the driver's seat going,
So is this? Where am I dropping you off? Why am I dropping you off?
Mom.
You going to a ramen
It's-
place?
Yeah. I'm
All the
meeting
way across
people.
town.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mom,
Are these like
this is-
student friends of yours? Or these?
No. College is beneath me, Mom. We've talked
Right.
about
You
this.
keep
I'm
telling me that, but it
I'm
feels
destined for greater things.
greater than college.
Yes.
I don't know if there is anything
like
greater
saving
than
the
college.
world, Mom.
That's what society has told me, that when you're done with high school, you go to college, you get a good job. That's it. There is
Tried
no
that,
other
Mom.
path.
It wasn't for me.
What does that even mean?
It's just it wasn't for me. Just like college in itself, these classes can't define my brilliance. Like you can't give brilliance like this
They
a
They
grade.
defined it as a C plus, I'm pretty sure, on that big group project. I don't understand. You know
Yeah,
what?
well, they didn't understand the brilliance of that project either. That's why. And they put down what they don't understand. It's like,
Well, I'm glad that you're making friends. And, when you need me to pick you up, feel free to give me a ring. Remember, I'd rather you call me if something goes wrong and no questions asked. You know what I mean? I'd rather you call me to pick you up than drink and drive.
what? I mean, are you worried about me drinking ramen broth?
I just
Why
watched a
can't I
weird
drive?
show on Lifetime. It was about a drunk drive. It's a whole thing.
Also,
I
Mom,
just
quick
mean,
question.
be safe.
Yeah, quick question. You said no judgment, right? What's CBD?
Oh, CBD. Well, it's sort of one of the ingredients, or one of the sort of factors of cannabis that can sometimes have a pain management. It has a bunch of different effects, but it's different from THC. THC would be the psychoactive proportion of the cannabis that would actually make you feel high, whereas CBD doesn't necessarily make you feel high. It can sometimes make you feel tired or help with pain management and different things like that. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it's just really odd that, in all my research into like big pharma, like, all the pharmaceutical drugs that I can now create, that they wouldn't be using CBD. That sounds like it would be a great alternative to some of the other drugs.
You've been making pharmaceutical drugs, have you?
No.
Okay. Well, we're here.
Thanks, Mom.
Welcome. And leaves you leave the place. You get out of the car and she blows you a kiss and waves really big from the car before she drives off.
Definitely had her drop him off a block away.
Amazing. You you walk down for your first big secret agent meeting at Hot Ramen in Baldertown, and John, Belkor, you guys all arrive there, and it's very easy to know where to go once you get to Hot Ramen because you see Ghost sitting at a corner table with a goblin individual, obviously Jaster. Ghost has that position in the corner, back against the wall, sight lines available, all the exits possibly planned, and sees one by one sees you guys enter and calls you over to come meet at the table. All right, let's get down to business. As you all know, my name is Ghost. I'm going to be your contact with KnowOne, the top secret organization. I suppose we should make introductions first, get everyone on the same page. Belkor, why don't we start with you? Tell us your name and your specialty.
I'm Belkor. I like to cook and I like long walks on the beach. I swing a knife and I cut things. But they call me the Butcher.
That's right. They call this guy the Butcher. Jaster, you next.
I'm Jaster. I'm tech, basically. I'm the guy that if we need to get in somewhere, I'm your guy.
Can I
Incredible.
immediately fist pump?
Oh yeah,
Jaster?
for sure.
It's good to see you again.
Good to see you, bud. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
Restaurant doing good?
So far, I remember Sven?
Yeah.
Yeah. I made him head chef.
Good for him.
It had potential, and he proved it.
Yeah. Awesome. So what are you doing? You just kind of...
if I could just interrupt for a moment. We still have a couple of
It's been so long. You
to
have
happen.
to understand.
I totally understand, and we can catch up as soon as I'm done here. Next up, we have Tint. Tint, introduce yourself. Tell us what you're good at.
Like, hi guys, I'm Tin, and I good drugs, bomb. Oh shit, that was loud.
Okay.
Drugs?
Drugs and explosives. Not a combo you see very often.
Yeah.
Still got all your fingers?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's working for you, I guess.
Yeah.
Incredible. Well, and last but not least, gives you a little pat on the back. Good job, Tin. You're doing well. Now, last but not least, we have our newest recruit, but also somebody who has tons of experience and will lend a lot of talent and leadership to this team. John, take it away.
My name's John. Target acquisition and elimination. That's my specialty.
Okay.
You hear the way he said that? Sounded
Yeah.
pretty fucking badass, right?
That's really,
Hell yeah.
probably
Yeah.
the most badass here.
Oh,
Except for
and
maybe Belkor.
John has changed his outfit to a black turtleneck with just that kind of Leon Kennedy leather
Naturally.
bomber jacket,
Yep.
black jeans, and then just some nice chukka
Yeah.
boots to go along with it.
I'm still in my gym gear.
Hell yeah. I love it. All right. So, let's get down to business. Now, as you all know, Sphinx City is not safe. There are evildoers living in the shadows, moving things around behind the scenes in order to prop themselves up for greatness, for glory, for selfishness. And we must put a stop to them because their goals, unfortunately, put everybody else at risk. They're willing to hurt anybody in order to achieve their goals. And we must stop them because if we do not, no one will. Now, there's been some developments in the last 6 months. Excelsior has actually been sold off. It has been sold to a Mr. Mott. That's Motte. He is the CEO and founder of Mothman LLC. If you're familiar with Mothman, he is a cryptid and a vigilante who fights evildoers at night who are performing small petty crimes. Mothman LLC is sort of a tourism group that seeks to spread the information, advocate on the individual's behalf. They specialize in merchandise, tours, all types of things. And apparently, Mr. Mott has some money in his pocket because he was able to purchase Excelsior at an incredible rate. Given the incredible wrongdoings of their CEO, thanks to Belkor and Jasta here, as well as Euland. Now, Romance Realtors was dissolved. It no longer exists. However, if I know anything about billionaires, it's this. Billionaires and businesses are hard to kill. They always change form, transform, become something new, become something different. As a result, I think that Romance Realtors is still out there, but maybe going by a different name, a different purpose. Now, Zusk Bergos. We know that he is the head of this entire thing. He is the head of the snake. One day we hope to clip that head off. But he's been quiet these past 6 months. Hasn't really made any public-facing announcements. He hasn't spoken up about any of the businesses that he has once been aligned with, doing and being caught doing unspeakable acts. However, we believe that they are working on something new. That they have begun to consolidate their resources, expand their network, and try again. And so, we've done a good job. We've taken out some crooked police officers. We've taken out the Romance Realtors. We've eliminated Excelsior. However, there is still work to be done. To start things off with, I suggest that you check out a little store in Wrong Village called Madame Musk's.
Oh.
I think they're running a special right now. Might be worth checking it out. Tint, are you allowed past curfew? What's your deal?
Yeah, of course.
Amazing. I didn't
It's not
question
like
it for a bit. Yeah.
No, it's not. I don't live in my mom's basement. She didn't drop me off.
Right, I never said she did. It was
No, I drive a really cool motorcycle. I just parked it,
Oh, incredible.
Oh.
Jasta drives a motorcycle, actually. He could... Oh, that's
Oh.
incredible. You guys can ride together.
Yeah.
What
well,
luck?
Mine, it just got hit by a car.
Oh, no.
Oh no!
What terrible luck.
Yeah,
Oh,
it'll
sorry
be
to hear
in
that.
the shop for.
Yeah, I mean, you can
definite
drive-
amount of time.
You could drive mine. I've got my skateboard now, so like,
Oh, Awesome.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Well, this is turning out to be an incredible team, I could tell. John, I expect you may be taking point on some of this. Feel free to lend your expertise and your experience with the rest of the group. We can all learn.
This is the team.
This is the team.
This is all of them.
This is it,
Into
baby.
slurping his soup right now.
Right. Great.
And you have me. I won't be necessarily in the field, but if you have any questions or needs of resources or something like that, I can try and move some things around, see what I could do.
Yeah, I do have a question. What do you know about Big Milk?
Big Milk. Well, unfortunately, the gods have decided to disgrace me with lactose intolerance, so I don't know a ton about it.
No,
I imagine it makes me gassy. Is it just a large container of milk?
No, so there was an attempted assassination of my life today, and the company
You're so cool.
Thank you.
You're like right out of a movie.
Appreciate it. But the assassination that was very real that happened on my life today, the company that they were posing as on the paperwork was Big Milk. I didn't know if that was just a shell company or if there's possibly some sort of storefront that we can investigate afterwards.
I could certainly begin looking into it.
Thanks.
I haven't heard of Big Milk as an organization, but I will start looking into them.
Sounds good.
It's possible they're connected to other beverage
Don't you dare.
conglomerates.
Regardless, getting our
Who knows
feet-
how high this goes?
That'll help.
I'll begin researching right away. Good luck out there, team. I know you're going to do incredible work, make Sphinx City an even greater place to live, to call home. A safer place. A place we can all be proud of. Have at it. She'll be expecting you. And he takes his hat off the table, puts it on, gives you all a little nod. And for the first time in ever, he leaves the restaurant like a normal person through the front doors. And then right outside the window, you see him go into a storm drain. That's
Back
on
into
the side of
pipes.
the road.
Oh,
Yep.
wait, no,
What is
there
it?
he goes. There
And
he
he's
goes.
back in the
There.
pipes again. All right,
What-
fair enough.
Why did
Yeah,
you just
he-
do that?
Did he
thing.
come through your guys' toilets too?
He came out of my trash can.
Microwave
He-
for me.
No, he texted me.
He texted me first, I guess.
I mean, yeah, we talked, but then he just kind of came out of my trash can.
Yeah.
No, he reached out to me a while ago about
Okay.
joining in, something about I don't know, something about people in a zoo or something like that. He was looking for
Oh.
people.
My best friend was turned into a goat.
Oh,
What
Is
kind
that
of goat was
One
related?
of those people.
Or
Yeah.
okay, good. I thought you were just doing a tangent.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, no, he was turned into a goat at
Uh-huh.
the zoo.
Okay.
How are they holding
He's-
up?
Not well. He faints a lot. And
Oh,
sometimes
no.
like he lets out like a bleep.
Oh, one of those kind of goats. Gotcha.
I mean,
One of
ooh.
those.
Yeah.
Of all
Yeah.
the goats.
Yeah. So I was busy at the time, so I declined. But them blowing up my ice cream shop made things very, very
That's
personal.
crazy. Yeah,
And up
yeah,
your
it would.
schedule a bit.
I feel like
yeah.
it would. So ice cream shop. So how do you go from international man of death to ice cream shop?
You just find the right person. But that's enough.
Fair
Let's
enough.
walk and talk, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
I've decided to change Stew 2's name to Twofer. because he's a dual. He's a dog and a skateboard.
He's a 2-for-1.
Yeah. So I go, hey, Twofer, let's go. And a little robotic dog pops up from the ground over on the side and starts following us out the door. And then as soon as we get outside, he like shifts his arms and legs kind of go out to the side a little bit, and he starts like hovering, and I hop on him like a skateboard.
That's a cute dog.
He's super
So
handy.
cool.
Amazing. You guys begin walking your way to the neighborhood known as Wrong Village. Now, luckily, it's actually extremely close to. Actually,
Sorry?
you guys are in Baldertown. You would have to cut through Little Feywild and then make your way to Wrong Village. It's above Little Feywild, but as you get into Wrong Village, this is the part of town that a couple of things. Number one, it doesn't seem like maybe they get the same amount of funding as other parts of the city. A lot of the buildings look a little bit more ramshackled, a little bit older. There's like some wear and tear and stuff like that. The roads aren't as paved as the rest of the city. You also notice that you almost will never see like a cop car in Wrong Village. It's just like this interesting area that seems to police themselves, if you will. And for those who have grown up in Sphinx City or have been here long enough, you would know that there are a lot of like rumors and legends about Wrong Village. But at the end of the day, it's perfectly safe. It's a great place to check out and to hang out and stuff like that. It just has some spooky vibes about it. You would know that it is the home of what I refer to as like monster folk. So there are a lot of people who live here who don't ask me about the biology, but there are a lot of people here who are like half monsters. So like you'll find like a half vampire or even a half ghost, a half zombie, a half gnoll or something like that. Like these sort of half monster races kind of thing. And as you're walking through, you see that there are a lot of dark buildings. It's pretty late in the evening at this point. We'll say that it's like probably like 8:30 p.m., approaching 9 p.m. It's dark. The street lights flicker always, and they have a sort of dark orange tint to them. There isn't a ton of people in the street itself. There's not like traffic the way that there is in the rest of the city. Kind of has ghost town vibes to it a little bit. There's one exception. You can hear and feel a thumping, but it's rhythmic. It's not like footsteps like Jurassic Park or something like that. It sounds like a subwoofer or like a bass that is just so intense that you can kind of feel it sort of thrumming as you're walking through the streets. And you can see off a little bit down the street, there is a massive building that looks from the exterior just looks like kind of any other nightclub, but it has two, I guess, bouncers out front. These they're dressed like nuns. They have on like the full habit and stuff like that, but you see their eyes glow red, and they have like paper white skin that has black veins shooting through it. And you can tell the music is coming from there, and the club is called The Church. But before that, kind of across the street diagonally, a little bit closer to you, is what looks to be almost like an antique store. Belkor and Jaster, you're familiar with here. You've been here before. This is Madame Musk's. It looks very dusty and interesting, for lack of a better term. And that's your guys' destination. That's where you were told to head. So you guys walk in. You hear an old-timey bell jingle as you walk in. This store is cluttered. It looks like a hoarder's palace
There are shelves and shelves of just odds and ends. Nothing makes sense. There's no organizational system whatsoever. You see strange jars filled with liquid with some sort of organ just floating inside. There's like there's an entire barrel that's just full of leeches, and they're just like squiggling on top of each other next to one of the cash registers. You see that there are cobwebs up in the corners. There's a small sign that says, "Don't clean the cobwebs." You see dust covering a lot of the stuff here. And you see the big front desk where the cashier, where the register is, rather. And there's just a bell. Like the ones that you would see at a hotel. Like just a little bell on the actual, on the surface. Do any of you, obviously Belkor, Jester, you know what's about to happen, but do any of you ring the bell?
Hey, Tint, go ahead and why don't you ring the bell?
Tint. I'm guessing, is this a cobalt size?
Yeah. We're both right here. Yeah.
Is Tint like reaching up, trying to like doing the like bop, bop, bop. Got it.
Like
And
a
then,
cat paw? Just like reaching for stuff? Yeah, absolutely. As soon as you make contact with the bell, you're expecting a bell noise, a ding, but instead it sounds like a man stubbing his toe. As soon as you hit the bell, you just hear
Oh. Did I do it wrong?
Nope, that's
Nope,
the bell.
that's the bell.
Oh.
That's it.
Welcome to Madam Musk.
Yeah.
a couple seconds go by before you hear a voice, an old crone's voice from the back room start to get louder and louder as she begins shuffling her way through the store to the front. And as she gets a little bit closer, the strange thing is that, John, you would probably pick this out because your like advanced perception skills, like just your ability to kind of notice small details and stuff like that. It almost sounds like there are lots of voices speaking almost the tiniest bit out of sync, as opposed to just one person's voice. It sounds like a lot of voices kind of, but they're done in such a way that like 90% of people won't even notice. And as she's walking up, you can't see a single inch of her body. It's 100% covered in this black, like, what's the word? Ripped and torn, like, cloak, covering her entire body. Her hands are covered, her face, legs, feet, everything is covered. And it sort of undulates underneath the surface of it as if things are moving independently of one another as she shuffles up and gets behind the desk as she's going,
"Well, look who we have here. Belkor and Jaster. It's been some time. How are you two?"
Surviving.
Hanging in there.
Hey.
And I bow. Your Majesty.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, please, no. Save that for when we're alone. This is, I'm just a meager shop owner. I know not this royalty you speak. Shut the fuck up, man. What the hell?
Sorry. Just
Come on, man. I'm trying to keep a low profile here. The fuck?
there's nobody else in here.
I don't know these two.
They're
You
with
see
us.
Tint's hand above the counter, like, hi.
Oh,
Your
goodness, there's another
Majesty.
one.
They're with
No,
us.
please don't call me that. That means nothing to me. I am not royalty in any way. That's not a thing. But you, handsome man, how are you? Let's. How's it going?
I'm fine, thank you.
Oh, you. That's hilarious. That's very good. Very good. Bravo.
Finger guns.
You other handsome man. What about you?
The name's John.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I could take that voice and roll it up like a hot pancake. Pour some syrup over it, baby. How you doing? You single?
So we were told to come here.
Straight to business. I like it. That just makes me want to pursue you more. But okay, let's get to it. So, first things first, I spoke to your manager, your boss, and it looks like you are going into business again. Back into the depths of danger, and I am here to supply you with some goods that you may find necessary. So, first things first, hold on.
She starts moving things aside behind her and these shelves and stuff like that. Can I have Tint and John make either perception, investigation, or insight? Any of those three, whichever you would prefer.
It's going to be investigation for me.
Okay.
24.
24.
All of those would be a 9.
Roger that. John, this is just some crazy old lady with weird skin that bubbles underneath her cloak. Who knows, man? It's Sphinx City.
There's definitely something off, but I can't put my finger on it.
Yeah, I think her hitting on you so directly caught you so off guard that it's just like, what is going on? Tint, you're taking a closer look at her as she has her back turned and is like looking through the shelves for different items, moving glass jars aside and stuff, the clinking of glass on glass. You're familiar with a classic trope, this idea, because you and your kobold friends have done this before, the idea of 3 kobolds in a trench coat. You maybe were that for Halloween one year. Like, you get it. You've seen that before. It's a little cliche.
It's how we make fun of Jeb sometimes. We like all stack up and we're like, I'm Jeb.
Look how
I'm
tall
a human. I can reach the top shelf.
Exactly. You think that is kind of what is going on here, but it's not kobolds. It's rats. And you think that in order to make the size of her, there must be hundreds of rats underneath this cloak.
What does her face look like? Is it like
it's
a
covered
humanoid?
in a cloak.
Oh, okay.
She's 100% covered.
I think kid's just gonna tuck that away.
No doubt.
This is. He's like, this is weird.
It is. And she moves some things around. She finally pulls some stuff together and returns back and puts down on the counter 2 small jars of maggots and then 2 larger jars of maggots. And she explains to you that these are potions of healing. She goes,
So these will heal you right up? No, I'm looking at your face, John. Yeah, the stuff I make is fucked up, man. It's creepy as hell, but listen, that's how we keep our
really
overheads
good.
low. It works just as well. It's still magical, I promise. It's gonna heal you right up. You get a wound, you put some maggots on it, they eat all the bad stuff, you're good to go.
All right.
So this is 2 common healing potions, 2 greater healing potions, and then just for fun, I'm gonna mix in a little bit of, I'll tell you what I'll give you really quick. Let me see what's up here. I'm gonna give this to the little guy. I think that's kind of funny.
she hands a potion to you, Tint. It's in a small bottle. It is red, but it's like a red liquid. It almost looks like blood, which is off-putting, obviously. But as you're holding it, you notice that it does this thing where like all of the red coloring of the liquid immediately shrinks down into a small bead and then expands again, and then shrinks down and then expands again. And she goes,
"This is a potion of diminution. It'll make you even smaller." I just think that's funny. I don't know if that'll help you at all. I just think it's hilarious. Sorry.
No, I
How big is a tiny
I-
creature? This is
yeah,
me
I have
speaking out
one
of
to
turn.
sneak places.
Yeah, you could get into small places that you even you couldn't fit in. You know, that could be really interesting.
Maybe even
I
that
just think that's,
ghost couldn't fit in.
Yeah, maybe. And then
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you. I only have one, unfortunately, right now. But come back another time. Maybe we can do some business. All of this stuff is on the house. This is all. Ghost is already taking care of all of this, so don't worry about this. But in the future, we'll do business. But But here, I'm going to give you guys this. I'm just going to put it on the counter. You guys decide who gets this and how you use it, okay?
And she puts down a small bottle. The top of it is a cork, but she has to poke a hole in it because you see that this is full of a blue liquid, almost the color of denim, like that kind of shade of blue. And it's boiling and steaming. And so the hole in it is to let the steam escape. Otherwise, the cork would pop off. And she puts that down. And whoever touches it first, you'll see that it's not hot. It's just magically boiling and steaming.
What is it?
Oh, this is a potion of heroism. Kind of give you a little boost for about an hour. Like I said, unfortunately, I only have the one, but...
Yeah. But I don't know anyone here that would need that.
Oh, of course not. You're all heroes in my eyes.
I mean,
Your
I can
eyes
just stash
and
this
eyes.
for now, and we can figure out what to do with it later.
Of course. Use it as you see fit. I know that you all have treacherous journeys ahead of you. I know that there are dark times ahead, and I look to you all as the arbiters of our future. I think I'm using the word arbiters correct in that sentence. It's been a long time since I've brought that word out of retirement. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 95% sure, though. I nailed it. Anyway.
I didn't get that word in English 101 yet, so.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in school? That's good. School is
No.
so important. No?
No.
Never mind.
No.
I hate school. School's stupid.
Right.
So, here's the deal. I have a quick favor to ask of you. Could you all be dolls and just deliver this to my friend Trinculo over at the church? I think he wants to speak to you all anyway. Apparently he has something he needs assistance with.
And
Sure.
she hands you, Jaster, a single black flower. It has a rather short stem, probably only like 5 to 6 inches, but the flower itself is beautiful. It is almost all black with a very slight like ombre into red at the root of all of the petals. It like there's a lot of a lot of petals that kind of go around in a crisscrossing sort of pattern. For your own reference, if you would like to bing it, what you are seeing is a black dahlia.
Okay.
A very specific flower. If you do bing it, include the word flower. Otherwise, it'll just show you the Black Dahlia murders that happened in like Los Angeles forever
Lovely.
ago.
Lovely.
Yeah, you learn and you live and you learn. But it is a beautiful flower.
I say okay, and I'm gonna reach down to Stu, who's back in dog form, his back, and he's got like a little handle, so it opens up, and inside is like a little bag of holding dimension, and I kind of just put all the stuff in it, and then close it back up.
Incredible. I had a dog once, but when you opened its back, it died. So, because it wasn't a robot. Yeah, it was a real dog.
Wow.
Can't do that. It's fucked up. Anyway, you should all be going. Unless there's something else I can help you
You
with.
should. Traumatized enough for one evening,
Okay.
and we still
you
have
say
to go
so.
see Trinculo.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine.
yeah, I'm sure it's going to be something. And let's get on out of here.
Amazing. You guys leave Madame Musk's and head diagonally across the street a little bit further into Wrong Village. It's at this point you can see that at the end of this street, you can see the iron gates of a massive cemetery. Like almost half of Wrong Village is this cemetery. It is huge, like over an acre big. if not more, like maybe even 2 acres, 3 acres. I don't really know what an acre looks like, to be totally honest. I know that my dad's property is 3.3 acres, and it's pretty big. So I imagine that this fucking cemetery is huge. And you just see the iron gates, but from this distance in the dark, it's hard to make out like signage or anything like that. But you just notice that off in the distance as you get closer and closer to that thrumming sound, as you can feel and hear the music coming from this nightclub called the Church. As Jaster and Belkor sort of lead you guys that way to meet with this individual called Trinculo. You see the 2 nuns outside, sort of serving as bouncers, checking people's ID and stuff like that. As you approach, the nuns don't even say anything. They just hold their hands out.
I see.
And then in a like crazy twisted, almost like they're speaking in reverse, demonic sounding voice, you hear them just go, ID, please.
Oh,
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't go out much. I'm sorry.
You guys all individually
This
at
isn't
one
21
point.
plus.
He's the DD. It's fine.
We'll allow it.
As they all take your IDs, check them, hand them back to you, and let you inside of the church. As you enter in, Belkor and Jaster, you're familiar with this, but the interior of the church, it is like a gothic nightclub. It is dark. It is loud. There is stained glass on the inside of this place where you can tell that it's done for decoration because it doesn't connect to the outside. It clearly is connected to some other double wall because there's red lights that are beaming through the stained glass, casting these crazy lasers kind of going across the dance floor. There's a DJ up on a DJ booth who's just a straight up skeleton who has headphones on like this as you just hear DJ Bone Powder. He's just mixing. It's like industrial goth techno music, just like super intense, crunchy music. You see a lot of people on the dance floor. There are people who are like semi-translucent. You see people who have like bolts coming out of their neck and have like stitches stitching together like different colored skin, like almost Frankenstein's monster looking people. Jaster and Belkor, you see a friendly face at the bar as you see Song, the bartender who you've dealt with a couple of times before. He is like a half vampire, sort of looks like K-pop turned vampire. Like he's an Asian, like kind of Asian American, little bit of sharp teeth, a bunch of tattoos, black shaggy hair, and is just kind of behind the bar mixing drinks and stuff like that. And you both would know how to get to Trincula's office. There's a set of stairs sort of to the left as you enter in. Are you guys going straight to Trincula's office or doing anything else inside the church?
I don't necessarily know that we have anything to do unless anybody else has any like opposition. I'm just going to kind of like wave to Song and like point up to Trincula's office and be like, we're going to see the boss. Mm-hmm. And then just kind of cool.
100%. You see Song is like mixing together a couple of drinks and stuff like that. He takes a jar out that just has a bunch of fireflies in it and reaches in, pulls a firefly out, skewers it, and puts it in as the decoration on top, as there's just like a floating glowing thing on this like martini glass as he hands it to somebody. And you guys, following Jaster and Belkor's lead, head up the stairs on the left side up into this like private office area. As you're walking towards Trincula's office, which is like ajar, the door just slightly open, you pass by another office room where the door is wide open, and there is the accountant of the church, a man that is of very few words, in fact 0 for the most part, who is doing paperwork and is just writing things down. And as you walk by, he turns and looks at you all before turning back to his work. And he's wearing a porcelain mask that is completely expressionless. There aren't any holes for his eyes or like his nose or anything like that. It just has the sort of bumps of a nose and a mouth and stuff like that, but there's nothing to allow him to see through it as far as you know. He has on a top hat. He's dressed almost like Victorian garb, like a high collar waistcoat kind of thing and like a top hat, but then this very creepy porcelain mask, and he just turns and you can tell that he's like seeing you, but you can't tell how it's working. Walk past that into Trinculo's office. As Jaster or Belkor, which one of you are leading?
I'm knocking first.
Okay.
Not just walking into Trinculo's office.
Fair enough. Jaster, you the door is cracked open, you knock on the door, and you hear on the inside, "Oh, yes, please let yourself in."
Okay, I'll go first.
You open the door. As you guys enter into Trinculo's office, you see Trinculo for the first time, some of you at least. Trinculo is essentially if Dr. Frankenfurter from Rocky Horror Picture Show was mixed with the Joker. So you're seeing like long green hair that looks constantly wet, beaded white face of makeup, bright red lips, false eyelashes going out for miles, long fingernails, a tight corset with fishnet stockings and massive platform heels. You see Trinculo, and currently he is in the process of hanging a picture up on the wall. And, excuse me, they go by they, them. They say, "Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Please, I need your help. Is this straight? Is this good?"
Maybe a little more counterclockwise. And perfect.
All right. Fantastic. And you all see this portrait. It looks like a sailboat going through an incredibly rough storm as lightning is coming down from the stormy skies, and there is a seafaring individual with like a yellow raincoat that's just like pulling lines trying to just survive. Wow, incredible. I stole this from a museum. They're absolutely shitting themselves. Yes. Incredible. Well, they told me I couldn't have it, that it wasn't for sale. I said, bullshit. I'm fucking stealing this. Assholes.
And they didn't believe you. They didn't.
Well, they learned that fucking day, I'll tell you that.
They sure did. They sure did.
Anyway, I'm so glad you're all here. This is incredible. Belkor Ironbelly, the butcher. How are things? How's the meatloaf? Is it still delicious?
Pristine as always.
Ooh, I love to hear it. Incredible. And Jaster, how are things?
Great. Jim's doing great.
Good. I'm so glad to hear it. And we have 2 newcomers to your group. I love that. I love meeting people. It's one of my favorite things. Please, tell me everything about yourselves.
My name's John. Pleasure's all mine.
Ooh, the strong and silent type. I have a lot of feelings. Okay, you go now. And looks at you, Tint.
Tint's just shocked into like he's experienced a lot tonight. His confidence is running. It was already little. It's going.
Give him a little nudge with the elbow.
Tint.
Yes, like dynamite.
Yeah.
Very good. Explosive even.
Yeah, I do that. And drugs.
And drugs. Very good. You know, some of my clientele like taking drugs.
Yeah, I mean, if they need insulin, I can make that for them. healing
those kind of
potions.
drugs.
What kind of drugs were you thinking?
The party kind. Uppers and
Oh, like
downers mostly.
like CBD. Got it. Got it.
Yeah, sidewinders, lefts and righties. You know me, I like to have a good time. But listen,
Yeah.
we digress. So, you like to make drugs, you like to make things. And your name is TNT, which is, of course, a euphemism. Some sort of acronym. It means something related to explosives, am I right?
Yeah.
Incredible. Let me ask you this. Have you ever put nitroglycerin into somebody's body intravenously? Have you ever tried that? You gotta try it. It's so much fun. One time,
Did read. Yeah.
a man cut me in line. And so what I did is I strapped him down to a table. I put nitroglycerin into his veins. Do you know what happened? He died. The important thing is this.
Yeah.
I love chaos.
I mean, I do too, but more of like a healing chaos, like a.
I respect it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not really my bag, but I appreciate it for sure.
Okay. Yeah. You shouldn't put things that harm people into their bloodstream.
No. You obviously forgot the part of the story where he cut me in line. He had it coming. Obviously, this man he deserved it.
The scum of the earth.
Exactly. Now you get it. Finally. Okay, fantastic. Now, I know you all came here. I have an important favor to ask of you, and if you complete this favor, I am inclined to perhaps give you a favor in the future, something that you may need should things get crazy. As you all know, I'm quite gifted at several things. First and foremost, I've heard recently from some of our clientele here at the church, there are some strange happenings going on in the cemetery. Not just your ordinary things, cold spots, strange sounds, that's all normal. But here it seems that there are things going on where people are being possessed. There is dark happenings. There are some unmarked graves that seem to have been dug up. And I would love to have you all investigate them. I would see to it myself, but unfortunately I am busy running the club here. Although I can make a clone of myself. Actually,
are you even allowed?
I am going to make a clone of myself. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. He reaches it. They reach into a drawer and pull out a handful of rubies and rub them together, and you see it turn into dust. And he sprinkles it over himself like LeBron James. And you see his body, like mitosis, just separate into two beings. And then they look at themselves. They look at themselves. My God, you're handsome. Later, we have business.
I go to start covering Tint's eyes.
Trust me, it's gonna get PG-13 so fast in here.
That's okay.
And as much as I love an audience, I'm going to have some patience. So, listen, will you do this for me? Will you check out the cemetery? Again, I feel like something spooky's going on there, and I could check it out, of course, and now I have my friend here, but I'd rather not. I'm being perfectly honest.
We could, but we need some information about what's going on in town. Ghost said something about Mr. Mott.
Oh yes, the CEO of Mothman.
Yeah.
Moth, man. Yes.
Oh wait, yeah, I forgot to put the comma.
Well, the business is called Moth, man. Moth, man. Mm-hmm. Like that.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, so I mean, and I know that John's also looking for some information on Big Milk.
Oh. I love milk. I drink it neat. Call me crazy.
Some sort of company that's acting as a front or a shell company of sorts. They're using it to transfer packages.
Oh, a delivery service under the name Big Milk. Interesting. I don't see how those two things are very connected, but I will investigate this. If this is the favor that you would ask of me,
I think now
then by all means, I can... Okay. All right. I will look up Big Milk. I will give you an answer as soon as you investigate this whole cemetery nonsense. And if you want more information about the cemetery stuff, I would highly recommend. There is a very specific influencer. What are they called? Content creators. I don't understand it, but there's one of them. Her name is Rivka Islador. Rivka is a paranormal investigator, as it were, a social media presence. I don't quite understand it. I like most of my business to be off the camera. Although,
are you sure?
Look sideways
Say
at
you
the
like an
other
audience.
at the other clone. You're right. Maybe I'll make a website. We're getting ahead of ourselves. We don't have time. The second the clone goes behind the main one and starts just rubbing their shoulders. Oh yeah, that's good. That's good stuff.
Okay,
All
all right.
I think it's our cue to get out of here.
Absolutely
Just pulling the
agree,
hands
John.
further
yeah. I absolutely agree, John. Let's go ahead and get out of here.
All right, well, you know where to find me. I'll be here. Definitely knock next time. You knocked this time, but again, knock next time also. Probably more important.
Yeah. It's good. It's just pretty much a foregone conclusion to knock every time we come here.
Please do. Thank you so much. Do you... It's so funny. Part of me wants to be a jerk DM and be like, you never gave them the flower. You give the flower.
I totally did forget.
You eventually get out of stew, you get this black dahlia and hand it over to Trinculo, and I imagine tell Trinculo who it's from.
Yeah, it's from Madame Musk.
Oh, incredible. An old flame she was.
That tracks.
Yes, you know, it's very interesting. Love is a complicated thing. Lust, quite simple. Anyway, off with you.
Yeah. Let's go.
Tell them about the time I blowtorched that guy's knees.
Okay, so there was one time.
It's quite a
As we're
colorful
walking.
cast of characters here, you all know.
That's the city.
Yeah.
It's just really and
Sometimes you
honestly,
Right.
these are the people of Sphinx City. These are the people we're here to protect.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, we want to go try to look up this Rivka chick.
Probably follow her. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Like
let's-
pulls out his phone and is like, yeah, found her. Yeah.
Yeah. Tint makes quick work of it. It's easy enough. Given the name Rivka Islador, it's very easy to find her on social media. She does long form videos mostly, but has a pretty decent following. Is actually quite popular. Has like sponsors and everything. Rivka is like a little bit, not ghost hunter isn't the right word, but kind of like just a paranormal investigator. We'll just go to haunted sites, talk to ghosts, and we'll show all this different stuff. It's everything that a ghost show on like the Travel Channel wishes it could be, because they do 2 hours and show no proof. She shows so much proof.
Because ghosts are real.
Yeah, I know.
Ghosts are real.
In this fantasy world,
in the
they
fantasy
are.
world. Yeah.
We
No,
can
I'm
talk
not-
about that in the action surge.
Oh yeah.
I don't believe in ghosts. We can get into it because I also don't want to go to haunted houses because I don't want to be proved wrong. But we'll save that for the after show.
That's a
Learn to
good one.
split.
That's going in the book. That's coming back up.
So, Tint, you look up Rivka. You see that there is a. She's actually live right now.
Nice.
She's live
She's-
streaming and she's
yeah,
in
she's
the
streaming.
cemetery.
She's streaming right now. We gotta go.
All right.
She has like her phone like up to like she's selfie cam kind of, or like rather it's on like a selfie stick, and she's like, hey ghosts and girlies, I am Rivka and I am in the cemetery, the Lucy T.B. Rizzoli Cemetery here in Wrong Village. Now listen, there are so many spooky things happening right as we speak. Not only are there some graves that have clearly been dug up, but they're unmarked. Weird. I don't understand it. But also, I'm hearing a lot of weird sounds. Not the kind of sounds I'm used to hearing, but also sounds that have like pain and torment, and it sounds like all different kinds of creepy stuff is going on. Oh, my God. What is that? Oh no, it's coming towards me.
We should probably run, guys.
I should go. Bye. She signs off.
We should, guys, we should go.
Okay,
Something's
Tom
wrong.
Cruise run.
Yeah. 2 for take point, and I'm gonna have him go out and his little eyes light up and cast like a flashlight. So he's like 10 feet in front of us doing like a flashlight effect in front of us as we're running.
Amazing. You guys start sprinting down the street. As you get to the giant gate and run through it, luckily in Rivka's video, there were enough landmarks because, again, this cemetery is so large. It's anywhere between 1 and 3.3 acres. You see enough landmarks where you can pinpoint where in the cemetery she is. There is like a very specific statue that was in the background or something like that you can tell, like a mausoleum. And as you're running through the gate, you see that on the sign it says Lucy TB Rizzoli, as if her middle initials are TB, and then first name Lucy, last name Rizzoli, and that's just the name of the cemetery. And you rush through. You're running through the cemetery, and finally, after getting a little winded, Twofer lighting your way, you eventually get to this area where you can tell this is where Rivka was, but there's no sign of her. You don't hear any sounds of her, like in distress or anything. And I need everyone to make a perception check. And John, I want you to make it with advantage. Actually, no, just do the perception check. I'm going to give you something else in addition to this, but let's just do the perception check as is.
16.
16?
21.
21. Belkor, what did you say?
17.
17.
A natural 20.
Ooh, spicy. All right. Now we're talking. Now we're cooking with gasoline. So, Belkor and Jaster, the two of you see that there are 3 unmarked graves. It doesn't have almost anything written on the actual headstones or tombstones or whatever, but they are dug up. Their caskets are opened and there's nothing inside. You also feel an ominous presence, like just the area that you are in is shrouded with just energy. Like there is just dark energy here, magical energy, as if something powerful and magical has occurred and you are in the after wake of that, kind of. You know what I mean? Like it's not currently happening, it had just happened and you're here. Like the heat wave after a rocket went by or something like that. Like you can feel the after effects, kind of. Easy to see. It has something to do with these fucking graves.
What?
Tint, you see those graves and the unmarked thing about them. You see, strangely enough, that there are petals, flower petals, scattered around those 3 unmarked graves in a circular formation, like setting up for some sort of ritual, or again, the after effects. So the ritual already took place and this was just one component of it. They're black petals that have a little bit of red ombre as you get closer to the base of them. And you instantly recognize that this is a black dahlia. John. John, you notice a couple of those things, but you're looking at these unmarked graves. You find it, you almost have to like unbury a little bit, like the markings. There's something in the back of your head that just like tickles, and it's just like this weird, not weird, but like this thought that you just have to explore just in case. And so you go to like the headstones, and where it meets the dirt, you just
unbury just 2 inches of ground so that you can see lower down on the tombstone itself, and you see symbols. They don't mean anything to any of you except for you, John. You see that these 3 tombstones belonged to high-level assassins. Now, based on those symbols, with a nat 20, I'm going to say you recognize these. They're almost like calling cards. You know what I mean? So, next to one of them, you see the letter J and a diamond. Next to another one, you see a K and a spade. And then the third one, you see a Q with a heart. Now, you know, most people would be able to eventually get there, that it's like, oh, the Jack of this, the Queen of Hearts. Like, most people would be able to get there. But for you, John, it signifies who these people are. You know that there were specific assassins who were given these, like you have your title, but then this is just another organization system kind of thing. Yeah. You know that the Jack of Diamonds is referred to as the Sandman. The King of Spades is the Black Knight. And the Queen of Hearts is La Llorona. And as you all are noticing all of those things, you begin to hear mist billowing in as fog starts to cover the ground. There is the jingling of metal and whispers of spirits on the wind. And finally, you hear a woman's laughter as she sort of cackles. And out of the mist, the Banshee appears. She just says,
"Well, John, it appears that explosion didn't quite work. We'll have to try again."
and I want everyone to roll for initiative. And that's the end of episode 1 of Sphinx City Season 2. Tune in next time to see what happens next as these undead assassins are brought back to life and have to fight the crew in a cemetery at night. We're kicking things off spooky style.
Spooky style.
Spooky.
Incredible. And so, thank you again, all of the players. You guys have been absolutely incredible. This was so much fun. I'm so excited to get deeper and deeper into these characters, into this story. I hope that you guys had a ton of fun. I had so much fun. And let's go around one more time. We'll do quick plugs, and then we will kick things over to the Action Surge, which if you're listening or watching on YouTube or whatever, it is an after the session table talk show where you can only get access to that if you're members of our Patreon, which the link is located in the description. But let's sign off pretty much. So Dale, kick us off, and then do popcorn, and you can call in whoever goes next, and we'll see if it's alphabetical.
It might be. I'm Dale. I go by Death Breath. I don't really have social media. And yeah, Daniel.
Oh, what a time to be alive. Gang, how are you feeling about that first episode? A lot of highs, a lot of, some emotional moments. Golly gee willikers. It's going to be one heck of a season. With that being said, I'm Daniel, and it's been great playing with all of you. This has been super fun. You can find me as @DanielTheDM across all the corners of the internet, and catch me starring in Fears and Fortunes, presented by the good folks over at Forgotten Adventures. So you can check that out. Go to my YouTube. That's the best place to find it. And with that being said, I'm going to break the cycle, and I'm going to popcorn it to Taylor.
Oh no, the world is ending.
Order! more.
Oh my gosh. The
I'm just gonna
sanctity.
see myself out.
Anyway, I'm Taylor. I'm the other half of So You Want to Be a Dungeon Master with Justin. We're on pretty much all the socials, either as So You Want to Be a DM or So You Want to Be a Dungeon Master. Check us out with all the links down in the description of this. And yeah, I guess we'll just pop it right on over to Molly.
Incredible session, first of all. So excited to be here. You can find me on all the socials, just Molly Adeza. Check out my website, mollyadeza.com. My debut novel, The Revenant's Bargain, is on Kindle Unlimited, if you have that, so check it out there. Or you can get a signed copy on my website. So, yeah.
Incredible. Well, as always, this episode is brought to you by Big Milk. Thanks so much,
Oh
Big
my
Milk, for
gosh,
being
absolutely.
delicious.
Curse you,
and
Big
stuff
Milk!
Like that.
I don't even have my
And-
sign off ready. I wasn't
and
ready.
we'll
You psyched
it's
me
all
out
good.
too many times.
Check out the things in the links, and we'll see you next time, gang.